dark mode here, it automatically installs
Yeah,
here.
it does
like,
that. Purvis,
instantly transported.
Purvis, we're recording now. Tell them what you're putting on the laptop.
I'm putting on dark mode.
No, not dark mode. The other thing. The other thing. What are you going to be doing while we're recording the podcast?
Oh, yeah, I turned on the media again to put in the background.
So it's going to be a very Jazz and Brandon focused podcast. Welcome to the show.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding.
Look,
Purvis.
you can't take this away from me.
Purvis, you can watch basketball whenever you want. Okay. But like, you can watch basketball whenever you want. As long as I'm on the podcast, that's a rule. You just gotta let me go off on my tangents.
I was gonna say, I just have to monitor when you get too far off.
Yeah, when I go too far off. When I start like listing home addresses of senators, that's like when we gone too far. Welcome to the show, everybody. Jazz has a camera now. Look at it.
Welcome to the crew.
Yeah, so this is gonna be the default now of like how the show looks. How's everybody's week? Good. How's everybody's week?
Decent. Nothing really happened I can think of.
Yeah.
Jasper?
Yeah, not too shabby. Had a day off in the middle of the week, which was fun. And today work was interesting, but otherwise, yeah, super solid.
Yeah, I love a good midweeker. Today I was on set for a shoot. That was fucking very cool.
How much can you discuss about that?
I don't want to discuss much, but I can say pretty much anything that's important. Like it was it was like a how-to video for dental products. But like
A1.
Yeah, but like they shut down a showroom in Lincoln Park. I didn't have to go to the office today. I got to just like watch the monitor, hang out at Video Village, eat snacks, talk to the actor, talk to people about Elden Ring. It was pretty great.
Nice little field trip.
Yeah, it's a nice little field trip, right? And Purvis knows. What's up?
No, I was going to say Elden Ring won Game of the Year.
Like, yeah, I know. I know. I like Elden Ring a lot. I've been playing it a lot recently. I don't know. I think God of War is a better game.
I personally would give it to God of War.
Agree.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like Elden Ring, like it's the truth. Like it's 1 and 2. Like I'm actually like low key shocked at like how much I'm like enjoying the game and how like living up to the unprecedented hype that it was given. Like the last year, just like people talking about it constantly. And especially me, I don't really like the Dark Souls game. Like
I literally hate them, if I'm being honest.
Like I've never really liked them. This one's different. I don't know what it is, but this one's just different. And like maybe my personal game of the year, maybe I would have given it to that because like, you know, I still have criticism of God of War and like the fact that. But yeah, no, great game.
I was actually gonna ask like because I know Elden Ring is like long as I don't know what like it does.
Oh, I'm not even past the first major boss.
Okay.
And I got a bunch of video games for Christmas. So I've just been bouncing back and forth. As long as like I spend more time listening to music and reading than I do playing video games. So it's like
I understand that. Actually,
also a lot of Call of Duty now.
That too. That's kind of taken over.
Call of Duty, yeah.
I got my PlayStation Wrapped. I didn't even know they do that now.
They are doing everything is doing a wrap now.
Everything but Microsoft because Xbox sucks. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I had like 70-something hours in God of War, and like every single moment, I don't think I regretted it. So
yeah, no, it's so good. I'm not done with the game.
I'm waiting for it to come out on PC, but I 100% of the first one, like full achievements.
Have you fully avoided all spoilers and everything?
Yeah, so
it took me it took me damn near a month to finish that game. I didn't get spoiled for anything.
It took a very long time.
Yeah, like
it's a great game.
I am shocked at how well I was just not getting spoilers to that game.
We love Boy Simulator.
Yeah, it was pretty great. All right, should we get to like the actual podcast, like the things?
Might as well.
Music.
Might as well. The things people are here to listen to, the things people skip until. Like
Yeah.
according to
think
analytics.
look, I think it's extremely like important to note that our like listening base most definitely plays games just as much as they listen to music. So
Oh
I think
yeah,
this
100%.
this one could slot.
100%. Yeah. If you don't play games and you're listening to this, stop being a nerd.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like stop,
But
be better. Like
actually getting into the news then, there is one thing that I didn't put on last night. I kind of forget before I showed it. Remember we had an episode for Freshman XXL, and both of us had the voice artist to be Babytron.
yeah, and everyone loves Babytron. Jazz, do you
I
like
don't
Babytron?
understand.
I'm not familiar.
Okay, cool.
No, okay. I don't know if you're missing out on anything.
Most
Me
people
personally
like
thought
him.
he was terrible, but
Both
like I
like
guess he's
people,
like a meme or something.
yeah, people love him, but like me and Purvis were both like, because we had very different lists. We had,
Yeah.
I think the only thing we had in common is we both had like Dochi in the top 3, and him at the
That's
bottom.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are the two things. He's coming out with an album. He's coming out with Ben Reaper 3 New Testament. I want to use this as a trial. I want to actually give him a try.
gonna,
See
you're
what he
gonna
can
do
come
it.
up
You're gonna
with.
listen to Babytron, full
I think I'm
Babytron.
gonna listen to it if I can. Honestly, if I at any point one song in, 5 songs in, if it turns to trash, I will turn it on. Like I will
Okay.
not push through.
Okay, okay.
Um,
I'll see what you do. If you
you're gonna get a text up in like 5 minutes. Be like, done. But some other things that have been coming out already this week. SZA finally dropped the Kill Bill video.
Oh yeah, yeah. Did you
Phenomenal.
watch that?
I've seen parts of it. I
Oh
haven't
my
actually
God.
like sat down and watched the entire.
Me and Rachel like sat down with like snacks for it, like it was a movie.
It's a big deal, so I understand.
Yeah, no, it was extremely good. Like it's also I know it seems obvious from like the name of the song, but like they go over the top with the Tarantino references.
That's good. I honestly appreciate that, and I like that.
Yeah, no, they go all out, and then there's like ends on a very powerful image. I'll say that.
Is it the one of her basically tied up hanging?
Yeah.
I've seen on Twitter nonstop. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, that's a good.
You can't look away. Like Rachel's like, "Are you staring?" And I'm like, "Are you staring, motherfucker?" Like,
you not see what I see?
Yeah. Oh, I gotta tell you this, and I'm happy we're doing it on the podcast because it's just something that happens. And I'm like, God, I have to tell Purvis this happens. So another game I'm playing is Sonic Frontiers.
Oh boy,
that game is not good,
dude. I love it. I think it's great,
Jesus Christ.
dude. I think it's great. Shut up. Like I'm a fan. Did you play it?
I've seen enough memes about it. I don't even want to risk it. Sonic, I'm always on the edge about anyway, and I feel like all the games are half broke.
Dumb and lame.
This is an open world Sonic.
It's game. So good. It's so good.
Okay, if you actually like it, I'll.
I am shocked. And like I like the Sonic games, but I bounce off most of them. I do not play most of them. They're mostly ass. This one's great. I am very into it. It's repetitive, but like it's Sonic. So like anyway, I'm like sitting there, and I'm just like saying dumb shit to like make her laugh. And I'm like, Rachel, do you think Sonic listens to Drake? And something like an important piece of information you should know is that my girlfriend doesn't really say the N-word. She's black, but like she just doesn't really say it often. Yeah, and she just like without looking up just goes like, "Well, he looks like a bitch ass."
Imagine you enjoyed that.
I'm just like, all right, like fair game. I'm gonna go back to the game now.
That's the end of the conversation. It's just there's nothing else to even discuss
I guess
at that point.
You answered the question. Like, what am I to do? Like, my hands are tied.
I respect that. I really do.
Yeah.
Okay, but some other things that have been kind of rumored to be coming out as of tonight or tomorrow. A$AP Rocky is supposed to be dropping the first single of his upcoming album.
Same
I believe
Problems.
It's called Same Problems.
Yeah,
yep.
I've been hearing about that.
I believe this is going to be Offset finally easing into the album that was delayed last year due to Takeoff Steph.
Yeah.
A single's supposed to be coming out in collaboration with Hit Boy.
That's
And
a hell of a
then
duo.
no, yeah. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah,
I'm
no, that'll be one I listen to. Yeah, I like Offset. I think he's the best Migo.
okay. I don't know if I've put enough time to actually call someone the best yet.
I don't know about best, but favorite Migo.
Fair enough.
Certainly favorite
And
Migo.
then the last one that's been rumored is actually Party Next Door. He's been
That could be a fun one.
very quiet. Yeah, I don't know where he's been at all. I think he dropped an EP right before COVID. I could be wrong.
I think you're right.
Let's see.
Yeah, because I've never followed this guy too closely, but like I've listened to his albums. They're cool. They're vibey. You know, they get they get some plays.
I'm gonna say I feel like I've gone back and listened to a lot of his features and I've enjoyed it. But I don't know. I haven't been able to grasp like all of the albums that he put out, especially the earlier ones.
Yeah,
But maybe I'll give it another try soon.
you should.
But yeah, those three all rumored to drop. Unfortunately, it's beginning of the year, so it's not much confirmation
Slim
or even
pickings.
releases of actual music.
Yeah, well,
Um,
that's kind of what this episode's about.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
about
we're gonna be doing some predictions and actually like hope that this comes up sooner than we hope or sooner than we would think.
yeah,
Um, but what we do have a ton of news. There's a couple of things I just want to just get right through.
yeah,
Dr. Dre has joined the selling of his music assets. I feel like a lot of artists have been doing this recently. He
yeah.
is discussing of selling some of his assets to Shamrock and Universal Music for over $200 million.
That's a
Um,
lot of money. But like, what was it?
I don't know.
What did he do? Sell to Apple or he
He
sold?
sold beats,
Yeah,
like literally the headphones.
yeah.
Like that, I feel is like a solid
That's
investment.
different.
But
Yeah,
like
that's different. Yeah. Then
that's actually a product. I feel like this
That deal was for
is
over $1 billion.
personal,
yeah,
real worth it for both sides.
yeah,
Being honest.
yeah,
Um, but moving on from that, we also have Gunna, who has returned to Instagram. It did not go as well. He posted some kind of post regarding of like free YSL, free Young Thug, and people were not happy. I
yeah.
still don't understand the full snitch culture thing or the trend that's always been going around.
I sent a video to you from Justin Hunt about this,
Mhm.
and I think he breaks it down pretty well. It's just like taking a pleading pleading guilty, taking a plea deal. Like it can be, but it isn't always. And like they
Right.
go over like really deep into like this specific intersection of culture. You know, like snitching culture and stuff like that. It's really interesting. And yeah, I think people are being way too hasty to
Yeah.
like call
That's
them
the
out.
internet, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But hopefully we'll see resolution soon for Young Thug. Another thing that's been coming up, and I actually want to ease into this one. First, I want to say that Kanye West is not dead.
yeah. I
Surprisingly,
appreciate that in the doc you have
yeah.
Kanye West finally cited in Beverly Hills. Underlined.
I mean,
I underlined it. I
Surprisingly
underlined
not
it.
yeah,
dead.
surprisingly
Okay,
not
cool.
dead.
Glad.
Like, actually, though,
Yeah, because
because
like,
we were texting about this. There was actual legitimate chance that he could be
yeah, and it's like,
dead.
what's gonna happen next? Like, what's gonna happen
Literally,
next?
he's not dead. Okay, now. But I just want to get that out the way because what we've invested into, unfortunately, was the stem player that
Yeah, we
was
did.
previously collabed with him. But they are moving forward and producing all new kinds of products and
Without
exclusive
him, yeah,
albums, which might be of interest. Right.
yeah, including one
They
that's
have,
dropping this week.
yeah, Ghostface Killer is having an exclusive stem player album. This is what Donda 2 was supposed to be.
Yeah,
This is what, like,
are
this
you
is
gonna
worth
listen to
buying this
this?
stem player. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of forget how to work the stem player. I haven't turned it on in a while.
Yeah,
If I
I
have to
haven't
go
touched.
through and like re-download everything, it's gonna kind of suck. But if it's
Yeah.
like available on streaming, yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I
I'll
think
do
you.
this.
I think you might just have to log in to the STEM like online
I
thing.
see.
Yeah,
And just download it from the website again.
yeah. I think it's just that. I think it's as simple as that. But yeah, no, I definitely intend on listening to this. just to justify that $200 I sent to someone
Yes.
who would less than a year later
be very disappointed.
destroy his entire legacy.
Right. So, with that being said, at least now I feel like I can support the STEM player.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, this is where we get into like the actual really big news. This one took me by surprise. Lil Yachty is having a meetup tomorrow, 1 to 7 p.m. in Georgia. He's looking to create an all-female band.
Really?
It's going to be 2 to 3 singers, guitar player, bass player, keyboard player, and a drummer. Um, I have no idea what to expect or like what's going to be
Yeah,
coming
is
up,
this
but
for
I'm
a
very
video?
excited.
Is this for a project?
He's entering his MGK era.
No,
Oh no, don't say that.
don't you
No,
curse.
please no.
Don't put that
It's
curse
too
on.
late. The damage is done.
Don't put that curse on the boy.
Please, not like this.
He didn't take
No
the
one
walk to
deserves this.
Poland for this.
Look, I wouldn't wish MGK's career on my worst enemy. Like, please, no. Let's have faith here. I was hoping for like a Brockhampton, but like female version. But who knows? But that's super exciting. I have no idea what it's for. He didn't say it was a project video or anything, so
Yeah.
I'm expecting big things out of it. Another really big thing coming up. Freddie Gibbs has been in the news or in interviews, I should say, and he is discussing that he's working on 4 more albums.
That's a
which
lot.
is huge. We did the Soul Sold Separately episode, and we pretty much were saying like this might be his transition into comedy.
Yeah.
But now we get confirmation of about 4 more albums. That's super exciting, and including or adding on to all of that, he's also releasing a merch line called Rabbits by Carrots.
Yeah.
So another thing that I'm very excited about with Jasper being on the show, people who don't know, Jasper is definitely someone you should follow on Instagram. He knows a lot about fashion. He's very like connected to streetwear. Jasper, what do you know about Carrots? Like, what's going on here? Is this exciting?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty exciting. Carrots is an LA-based brand that has done collabs on a whole lot of different things with a lot of different people. They're probably most known at this point for their Crocs collabs. When Crocs kind of took off at the start of the pandemic, they were the comfortable kind of like go-to shoe for home and everything else. And they kind of capitalized on that with all these different collabs. And Carrots kind of stepped up and did that. They've got this very kind of cartoony, kind of playful branding, lots of orange, lots of green, kind of natural colors you'd find on produce. And
Like
yeah,
a
it's
carrot.
just, who would have thought? And yeah, it's just it's an interesting brand, and I like seeing what they come out with, and it's nice to see something that's a little more playful in that sense. And I think based on the little teaser that dropped for the collection, where it's like little animated figures driving to the farm, it seems to kind of carry that playful energy forward, which I think is fun. When it comes to Freddie Gibbs and kind of his personality online and the things that he gets up to and his sense of humor.
I completely agree with that. I love the animation, like the actual advertisement that I saw for it.
Yeah.
I think this is a perfect collab for him.
Yeah, no, this sounds real cool. And like 4 albums. We're definitely
More
getting
important,
one this
4
year.
albums.
We're getting
That's something that I'm actually a little worried about.
Okay. What do you think?
It's like movies, right? When a studio makes multiple movies at the same time, they end up looking samey. When an artist maybe works on 4 albums at the same time, sonically, maybe they're not the most diverse, If you're one artist, I understand it if you're like a producer working on many things at a time, but for one artist to make 4 different albums at the same time and then kind of put them out in sequence, I think there's a risk of a lot of that kind of falling through the cracks is kind of the same. And I think of Green Day when they did Uno Dos Tres.
Yeah, that was awful. That was like
that's what I'm thinking of. It's like they generate a ton of content, but they do it in a way where they don't give themselves time to grow and develop as an artist further. And then you get same on like every project.
Yeah.
But that's just, it's happened before. I hope that's not the case, but that's something I'd be worried about.
Yeah, because like you bring up that trilogy, but you could also bring up the Saturation trilogy.
Oh yeah.
which is like 3 albums that came out within 6 months that are, 60
At least
songs with fun.
those, I think they're meant to kind of have the same feel too.
Yeah, that's fair. And the other thing
Whereas he was
is,
talking about like collabs one album, R&B one album, something with Griselda another album.
yeah. No,
So
I saw the interview. And for me it seems like he's just like, to me I feel like, yeah, I feel like that concern that it can all become samey. I think that's legitimate. Uh but I think like the producers he works with is going to be a big factor in that. Like I know one of them's Madlib, and like it's Madlib, dude.
hard to mess
Yeah.
up.
Like
I
Freddie and
guess.
Madlib is not only always gonna sound at least good, it's always gonna sound unique from even Freddie on, his good days with other producers.
Yeah, and I would
So
say, kind of to his credit, I guess Freddie doesn't have such a strong sound that it overpowers a producer.
yeah,
Like there are
that's
some people who do have that, like Travis, for example. Everything I've ever heard him on, except for that one Pharrell track that came out last year, it sounds like a Travis song all the way
yeah,
through.
that's been a complaint of mine. Like I always hated Travis Scott features until that one Post Malone song with Ozzy Osbourne.
Take what you want,
Yeah.
or take
Uh
what you need, whatever it's called. Yeah,
yeah. That was like the first Travis Scott feature I've ever heard that I liked. Because he makes great music, but he comes on a track and just everything has to sound like Travis Scott, and like
It's his song now.
and usually
Burn
they just
up.
and usually like it just doesn't sound as good. Like I'm a big fan of the guy, but like Chopsticks, Schoolboy Q, like that's the exact
It's a
point I have
good
to
song.
make.
Shut
Is
up.
I
Shut
no,
your
I
mouth.
just
That's a
think
good song.
no, it's
There
not.
there are
No,
a
it's
good number
not.
of Travis features I like. I really like White Girls, Belly.
No, I hate that song.
I like that song.
I am the biggest belly defender on this planet.
I love that song, man.
I
And you
am
Oh,
hate that song?
I hate that song.
What?
I hate that song. First off, that was on. So Belly had like an entire career before like his run with.
yeah.
Yeah, and that stuff just wasn't good. Sorry. Uh, and like his first kind of stuff, like it's kind of half and half. I did not like that song. But respect for even for knowing who Belly is. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that, and then the other one I like is Whole Lot of Lovin', the Mustard track, because that's kind of different. That's like almost a dance track that happens to have him doing
I'm
vocals.
unfamiliar, so
That's good. That might be one of my recommendations this week. We'll see.
okay, I'm
Okay,
unfamiliar,
okay.
so maybe. And like, was the London? Was that a Travis Scott?
London was Young Thug and Travis.
Young
Yeah,
Thug,
That
that
Travis
was
Scott,
another
one's
one
J.
that was
that
Cole.
one's
like
not
pretty.
bad.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
The J Cole verse on that is
I was about to say he kind of carried.
bananas, bananas.
It's J. Cole. What do you expect?
Yeah, and like that's kind of how I feel about this. It's Freddie Gibbs. Like it's gonna be his
At
name's
least good.
cocaine. You'll never see him on the nominees.
That's fair. Um, but another thing that I want to go over, I surprisingly have only seen like one or two posts about this, which I think is terrible. No one is talking about Chance the Rapper and Vic Mensa's
Yeah, their
festival.
festival in Africa.
Right. I was about to say there was a decent rollout to this where there was a lot of posts, a lot of advertisement. It's called Black Star Line,
Yeah,
but I, I I don't want to say like chances have the influence anymore and like wrap it up to that, but it kind of sucks that this wasn't more discussed. We
I
had a
I
lot
to-
of
I
Mhm.
totally agree. Think it completely sucks that it wasn't discussed.
Yeah.
I think the main reason is because this was in Ghana, right?
Mhm.
Ghana,
Location definitely played into
no
a
one gives
part.
a shit, and it sucks
Yeah.
because like that's unfair and it's just racism. But like that's the thing, right? If this was Coachella or like in California or something, people would give a shit because they could go to it. But no one's gonna go to Ghana for a
Yeah.
music festival.
That's also
I mean,
true.
Like, you
maybe
could-
people from Europe will, but still, like,
Yeah.
what are the odds?
Yeah,
Right.
and like we don't know like how well it was pushed in Europe. Like probably not as well. Probably not well,
I
but
was gonna
like
say probably not as much as here.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll agree with that. But we don't
Unless
know.
you're playing like Johannesburg, anything in Africa flies under the radar for sure.
Yeah, and it's bullshit. It's nothing but racism, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought this was really cool. I think this was a cool lineup. I would
I was
totally.
really gonna say, most importantly, it was like successful.
Yeah.
Like it actually the turnout was amazing because you would think something like this, uh, having a theme of going back to your heritage and like your culture, like finding like a place of home there, I would feel like more people would kind of jump on board. But the people that we have, nothing to knock them at all, because I love everyone here, but you would think there'll be more. We have Dave Chappelle, we have Erica Badu, we have Jeremiah, um, Toby, I forgot how to pronounce it,
Nigiwe.
Nigiwe, um, T-Pain, Tyler Wally with Most Def, and then Asaka Boys, which is
Yeah.
a Ghana drill crew, and
Yeah.
then 15,000 people. I
That's.
would say that's pretty good.
I'd say that's a roaring success.
Yeah, I
They
wish more people would like support this.
these guys should be doing victory laps because I think this is really cool. You know,
Mm.
and like I also think it's important. Like I actually think like there's like political validity to this because like it normalizes life in Africa. I feel like we have like this very skewed vision of like what life in Africa is about, but like nah, they have music festivals and like
Right,
they have one
it's
of
a real
the
place.
one of the things I learned a few years ago was like the number one place that's hiring the developers that did those suburbs in America is in Africa. And like you see these pictures of these suburbs that just look like American suburbs, not even like good or cool places to live, but then you see like a gazelle and a lion run, and it's just like this cool.
That's actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that. All right.
All right.
Lastly, we're gonna get into the biggest news of the week, which is going to transition into our topic. One, Frank Ocean
Confirmed
is
for Coachella.
headlining for Coachella.
Big. Does Frank know? That's the joke everyone's saying.
Like, actually, though, this is huge.
No, this is
I don't know how
massive.
many years it's been.
A long time. I just hate the fact that I do not have Coachella money. I just don't. I'm not.
That's
I'm
what I
going
need
to
my-
at least look into see how much it costs. Like,
That's
I want
what
to
I need my
least
raise
look.
for.
Yeah,
Literally.
like there's a decent chance my economic situation might get much better in the next few months. But there's nothing I can do. I don't have Coachella money unless someone's willing to be very generous and be a financier of the show, and they'll buy 20% of it from me. Like,
Right.
This
have
podcast
ownership.
was sponsored by.
the guy who
Right.
bought me a ticket to Frank Ocean. Like,
There you go.
Literally.
but
This is super dope. I'm super excited.
extremely
I want
dope.
to see how much it costs.
So-
I pray to God that it's at least live stream.
That's
Is it
another
gonna be a
thing
private
is that
Same.
they live streamed Coachella last year because of the Brockhampton show. I had people over to watch it.
Oh,
We gotta get together and watch the stream.
Yes.
We gotta do that together, and
we're all gonna cry together. There it is. We're gonna sit
Bro.
down and cry.
The end of Pyramids as the sun is setting over the hills in California.
yeah.
It's a movie moment.
Now I hate
It's going to be a fantastic.
I hate to be this guy.
Oh boy.
Oh, don't do it.
Do we think this means he might be at Lala?
No. No chance.
No. Hard no.
Yeah, probably not.
You get one
thing-
taste of Frank every 6 years.
Yeah.
Right.
My only thing is that like there were really strong. He was supposed to be at Lala 2020, or at least that's what people say.
He's not gonna be at Lala. There's no way.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. I think the fact that he's at Coachella makes it less likely. But like,
Yeah.
if Frank was a normal artist,
This would be the
I feel like
easy
the
follow-up
answer
is
would
Lala.
be yes. Like, if
But
it
he
was,
is not.
yeah, I know. So
The only way I could see it happening is if he drops a surprise project right before Lala, or not before Lala, before Coachella, and then
So,
does like a
I
limited
think
tour or something.
there's no way this is not coinciding with new music.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
because
really gonna
what's
say,
he gonna? He's gonna play songs from 7 years ago.
I would watch
that's
it.
the thing.
I would watch
I mean,
it.
yeah, we
I
would
would
all.
be-
I would too,
everyone
but I mean,
I would be
commercially-
ecstatic.
Commercially, he has no reason to unless he's dropping new music. I
Yeah,
feel
you're
like.
right. Yeah.
I was literally gonna say I did find something online. I don't know how like official it is, but it's pretty much every single time someone is performing at Coachella, if they do not have something recent, like they're supposed to create new music. Like it's
Yeah,
happened with many other artists beforehand, or before this year, I should say. So like him performing at Coachella pretty much confirms new music, which I think is the most positive outlook we can have on this realistic.
I really hope it does, but he's been one to kind of buck that convention. I remember when he performed at the Grammys right after Channel Orange came out. He only did it conditional on that he could do any song he wanted and not a song they wanted him to do. And he wound up doing Forrest Gump, and that was it. They wanted him to do a hit, and he just did Forrest Gump. So who knows? Maybe he's got some kind of terms where he doesn't have to do that. But I really hope he drops something.
yeah.
I
No,
don't
I
think
do.
that it. If it's anyone, Frank Ocean would be the one to break through.
Yeah, and like it
Take
has to happen eventually. Like this guy hates making music. This guy,
He likes making cock rings.
yeah,
exactly.
this guy was making blondes. Like, man, this song Nights gonna make sure I make cock rings one day. Like,
Every night really
I
fucked
just
every day up, huh?
yeah, he's like
literally.
Frank finishing Siegfried, just being like,
He'd rather live
Done.
outside.
Just God.
I could keep going with these.
I know.
Sorry.
God,
It's just not fair.
it's just not fair. It's just not fair.
But like,
I'm excited just to see that there's something. I'm excited to see that Frank's career didn't end 7 years ago, and like we never knew it.
7 years. And it's
Yeah.
interesting that you.
I was
say
wondering
that
if I
because,
counted the stuff that was released right before COVID.
I mean,
It's official releases.
they
Yeah,
are
but they're
official
singles,
releases,
right?
but I feel like
But they're
when you
singles.
look at artists, you automatically say albums. It's a recent album, but
Yeah.
I do know what you mean. They are official singles that did release.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you were saying, it's been 7 years since we've gotten anything, and we have two more artists to go over that are like apparently making a comeback. It literally feels like 2016.
Yeah, it feels like
Rihanna has been teasing like Fenty Super Bowl collaboration stuff. She might be putting out music, but I don't think the Super Bowl has any kind of requirements for her to do
No.
so. But I can't imagine her not wanting to create
It
new
makes
music.
it. My only thing is that the Super Bowl probably pays really well.
It
But
probably does. Pay.
yeah, I do think it's almost certainly going to line up with her releasing something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I hope it does because like that's another one. It's been like 7 years. At least she's
What's
in
going on
movies.
here?
Like,
Even still, it's not that many. Like,
yeah,
all I can think of is that like short film she did with the other person who's apparently making a comeback,
Oh, yeah.
Childish Gambino.
but she was in Ocean's 8.
She was. I
She
had
was
no
in
idea. What
Battleship.
year was that?
Huh?
Okay, you know films that I don't. So
She was in
She was iconic in This Is the End.
This Is the End. She was in
Smacked the shit out of Michael Cera.
Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets. She was in that. She played a blob monster, and I'm not joking.
Fire.
yeah, I have no idea what anything you're saying is.
These are all real things. Like,
So you're telling me Rihanna's been in film for the past 7 years?
I mean,
At least.
yeah, kind of. Not like super. Like she's not putting out a movie a year, but like she's been in movies.
She's in minor stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and
She's
also
bored.
Fenty. Like, let's not overlook
Right. She's running an entire business.
Fenty. You know,
A
it's
very
like
successful.
one of the
stock
most
market
successful
business.
brands of the 21st century.
Right.
But yeah, no, I want music from her. I love that last album. What was it called? Auntie?
Empty. Yeah.
I loved Auntie.
I mean, and on top, because I didn't know she was in all these films. All I know is just the thing with her and Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that he was going to be in the news this week
Yeah.
until you sent me that Twitter or whatever interview he had.
Yeah.
I have no idea where that even came from.
It looked like he was on the red
Somebody
carpet for
just say
something.
that?
I think it
No,
was.
he was at the Golden Globes
He was
for
at
Atlanta.
the Golden Globes for Atlanta.
Okay.
His
Yeah.
fit was fire.
Yeah.
He never misses. Let's be
And
honest.
yeah, and the thing I appreciate is he was just very straightforward about it. He was just like, "Yep,
That's what I was gonna say. Like
It
it
was
literally, I
very
feel like it just came out of
yeah
left field. Like what
yeah.
made the interviewer even want to bring up Childish
I feel
Gambino?
like you have to like
It's mandatory, because the
yeah
internet is like
He's there
such an
for
iconic.
Atlanta. I feel like Atlanta is huge enough in its own right that like you're at the Golden Globes, everyone's talking about that.
I agree
But
that
also, it's a show about music.
that's what I was just about to say. It's a
It
show
is a
about
show about
music.
music.
So
Yeah.
when are we? And you know what? Atlanta season 1, um,
They teased
his album.
"Awaken My Love."
Oh well, they didn't even tease it. It was just featured
It
in that one
yeah, it was in
episode,
yeah
the Africa File episode. It was on the back in the guy's shelf,
yeah
and it was just
Now
like
I
the
have
album
to
just sitting there.
rewatch the last season and like look for stuff.
yeah.
That's such a good
How has
episode
someone
too.
not found this already? Oh yeah,
No,
the
dude, I've
last.
never been to Africa. You know why? Because I'm fucking broke.
I get that. None of us.
Yeah, the Juneteenth party.
Yeah, that one. That
Yeah.
episode is so good. Oh my god.
That show's very good. I have not watched the last 2 seasons.
You need.
I have not watched the
to
last one,
watch-
but I saw season 2.
I saw season 2. I have not watched 3 or 4.
Guys, you need to finish
Yeah.
Atlanta.
I will.
Yeah,
I
thank
hear
you.
3 is not good, but 4 is amazing.
3
Three-
is not
three is
the
the one in
best
Europe, right?
because 3 is the one in Europe. It's just too random. It's too like
That's
out
the
in the
show,
air.
right?
Do you-
It's too big
do you-
picture. It's like too big brain. It's
Do
like
you-
I don't know what any of this means.
Do you buy the
Josh.
conspiracy theory that he made it
Made
bad,
it bad on purpose?
So
I do not. I do not believe that. I
okay.
do not believe he would make an entire season of like somehow bad enough, but like good enough to enjoy. Where like, oh, I'm gonna do this on purpose, and then just throw out season 4 with something amazing.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't do that. I feel like
Well, who knows?
I bet-
I don't
that
think
messes
there'd
up
be a
the whole project.
justification.
right. Shut
Yeah.
up, Brandon. No more conspiracy theories.
Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, no, Childish Gambino's coming back. He said he's in
Yeah.
the. I guess and the thing is, it was just very straightforward. He's like, "Yep, in the studio, working on stuff. Sounds great.
Secret people.
Secret People gonna be out super
Right.
soon." Really, the only thing to debate is like, what do you think soon is? Do you think soon's a couple months? Do you think it's the end of the year? I think it sounds very likely like it's gonna be released this year.
What
But-
if it's March 15th, 2023?
Okay. That would make me feel bad.
I won't listen to it if it is.
Yeah.
I
It's
won't
like,
do it.
Well, it depends. Does it have a title? Like,
3/15/23. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. There's your title.
Yeah, that's the title.
Ugh.
I'm just gonna be hopeful.
yeah.
Because
I'm gonna be hopeful because like the average quality of his work is incredibly high.
Agreed.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah,
It was just that I do think that last album was just like a big step off.
Yeah, I have such a
very
love.
confusing
I
why
have
it even
such a
came out.
love-hate relationship with that. Just like
There's good
his
songs on it.
career and all that shit.
Yeah, there's good songs on it, but I just don't think it lived up at all.
it was untitled, unmastered, but like
No,
Not
not
actually
even
good.
nearly as good.
not good.
It was not even in
same
the same-
concept. Not didn't. hit
I don't
the
even think
same
it.
way.
No, it's not the same concept. I would say they're completely different concepts.
I mean, algorithm hits, and that's the only one I can even name.
Oh, I like It Feels Like Summer. I know it came out
Oh,
like the year
is
before.
that on there?
Yeah, it is.
That's included.
Yeah, and Time with Ariana Grande. That one's really good.
Feels like some. Is
I'm
it
gonna
named
have to
something
relook
else?
at
Because it's not
this.
on the. Is it named like one of the numbers?
Yeah, it's one of the numbers.
Oh, okay. I see. I don't like that either. Like, just
Yeah,
give it the name that. you-
Exactly. No,
Ugh.
I am.
Ugh.
I'm there with you. I'm there with you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
No, I don't have
Not
Spotify
happy.
open, but it's one of the.
I'm
It's like
looking
I
at it
think
right
the
now.
third to last track is like a version of Feels Like Summer.
Wait. I just had the dumbest moment.
Go
I
on.
didn't realize the titles of the song is literally the timestamp of where it is in the album.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Because I'm looking at how long each song is, and then I looked at the actual titles. It's been out for 3 years, and I just realized.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
Well, how
supposed
many
to.
times have you listened to
timestamp.
it in the last 3 years? Exactly.
There are sometimes I don't skip songs.
Yeah.
That's the nicest thing I could
I
say.
don't,
Well, the
Yeah.
whole
I don't think
concept.
I've listened to this once
Yeah.
in the last year.
I've listened to it probably 4 times.
Yeah, I listened to it like
Oh.
twice when it came out. it also released like I think a week before or after my favorite album of the 21st century. I think
Which was?
After Hours.
Oh yeah, that was 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
After Hours. It was just like fuck. It's not the worst thing in the world, but you released against a heavy hitter, and that was not smart, Donald.
Yeah, no. I don't think he really cared. I was thinking about it. If the
Yeah.
title of your album was the day it came out and each song is a timestamp of where it is in the album,
That
you
COVID pandemic
it-
laziness really taking hold.
you get what you deserve.
Here's the thing, though. I don't like that album. I don't think it's a lazy album. I just think it's misguided.
That's fair.
Yeah, because like I think it has a
I'm
very
gonna have to re-listen before I say anything.
well, because it's not
okay.
it's not a lazy album. It's just this kind of like uninspired, I guess. But I think the concept of like, oh, it's just all one long song, and that's why the titles are all timestamps. Like,
But it doesn't sound like all one song.
it kind of does, not really. Like you're right. Like it doesn't do the concept justice. But like there isn't a unique concept there. It's not executed very well at all. But like there is an idea there that is unique in its own right.
I guess.
Yeah,
There is no guessing.
That's
This
valid.
is very this really isn't an opinion. Like
I just don't understand how the Nav album's lazy and this one isn't.
oh, because Nav does the same flow and uses Chat GPI to make his lyrics.
This doesn't even have like any structure to it.
Yes, it does. Like it does have structure.
I'm gonna have to re-listen because I remember it being that bad that like it wasn't even worth revisiting, and that's saying a lot for Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
I have to listen to it again as well, but I do have to say I think that Childish Gambino has kind of gone through the same character arc that Chance did between 2016 and 2020, where it's like he puts out something high polish, really good, kind of peak form, and then decides he wants to transition away from that in some capacity and does, and then puts out new music later that is not as good and kind of derivative. And full disclosure, like for everybody listening, I am a massive Gambino fan. I'm just not the biggest fan of the last project. I've seen him live.
Yeah.
I, know all the words to like everything on Camp, and because of the internet, it's just like it's one of those things where it's like I'm so passionate about him. I'm just like I wish this last release were like
Yeah, no, it's
in my opinion a little bit better.
It's a huge fall off.
Yeah.
And I don't on one end I agree with you. Like cuz it was just like it is very similar to Chant. On the other end, I do think there is like I do think they have been responded to differently in the culture a little bit.
Yeah.
Just cuz like I think Bino just kind of got forgotten. He didn't really like people made fun of Chance for months. Like this just came and went without
This
even,
happened and everybody was like, okay.
everyone moved past it. Like
I think it's because this came out in 2020. People had bigger things going on, and Big Day was 2019.
sure,
And then also
that's
Gambino
valid.
is in film now, so it's like he has a whole other kind of career that's continually making headlines, whereas Chance just kind of went underground for like 3 years and then showed up and spit out Big Day.
Yeah, no, that's totally facts. That like the fact that he has a whole nother career is 100% a factor. The fact that coronavirus hit that month is a factor. Yeah, no, but once again though, it just kind of came and went. Like people, people still made fun of shit during coronavirus, like the president.
Yeah, but I think the priorities were a little bit different though. Is all I'm saying as far as like what was the subject of ridicule.
Maybe.
I was actually going to say that is fair to say. We've had a whole episode about how 2020 music is just viewed differently.
Yeah,
it's just how it's consumed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but those three are the biggest things. It's been 7 years since Frank Ocean, Rihanna, Childish Gambino, and of all the years that I've known you, Brandon, this seems like the most promising. We might actually be getting some new stuff from them.
Yeah, no, it absolutely seems most promising that we're gonna get something from all three of these artists.
Yeah, so I guess
low key, I feel like the one that's least likely is Rihanna at this point.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
feel like
definitely Rihanna as
because
well.
I feel like I buy Rihanna coming and doing a show of just the hits way more than Frank doing that.
I agree.
Yeah, like
She got a whole
not
baby
that
roll
I would
going
have a
on.
problem with Rihanna doing that in any capacity. Go right ahead, but I just don't. I think that could totally happen for Rihanna. That's not going to be what Frank does. Frank's not going to
Okay.
come back to do like "Thinking About You" and Nikes. Like,
I mean, I think he would open with Nikes 100%.
well, yes, but my point is just that he's not coming to just do the songs everyone knows. That's just the point I'm
Definitely.
making.
Definitely. But this actually makes a decent transition into our topic today.
Yeah, because our topic is like predicting what we think is actually going to come out in 2023.
Yeah, and let me just, before we actually get into the list of things that we have for it, man, the ultimate Coachella mashup of Frank doing, what's that track? Oh my God, my nostalgia ultra knowledge is failing me right now. Frank doing Nature Feels.
Oh, the electric
with
feel.
MG,
Yeah,
with MG and MT on stage, and just like back in the day, Cuddy being there and just dancing and shit. Like ultimate Coachella mashup. Let's make it happen.
let's make.
I'm here for it.
My God.
Honestly, if that's your dream for the year, I think that's a solid request.
Too much.
I think that was the song Cuddy was dancing to.
That is,
also
it was electric
feel.
100%. Yeah.
What was that? 2014.
Yeah.
Yep, that was because.
And they don't really perform that song anymore.
Yeah, it was when he did Satellite Flight. I remember that show.
All right, but
so
should we
just start off with like what's actually confirmed?
Yeah, like, well, when you say confirmed,
quote unquote confirmed.
Yeah, because like there's some stuff on here that seems like has names and like we know exists, and some stuff like best guesses, like educated guesses. I would describe them as like
okay. So like I think, and this is what I put first. I feel like naturally Travis Scott is going to drop this year.
Yeah, Utopia.
Oh, it's already confirmed. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's got name. It's got advertisements.
Yeah, no,
he's already back in the news.
Billboards have been up.
Billboards have been up.
I agree. Yeah, it's.
I think it's due. It's due.
Yeah, no,
it's been 5 years.
It's due. Yeah, no, it's due. You're right. I agree.
Second one. I'm gonna be honest. If we're following the timeline, if we allow you to pull out your conspiracy theorists and all this other stuff, J. Cole is dropping this year.
You think he's dropping this year?
He's most likely going to be dropping this year.
It's a boy.
He's pretty consistent, I think, in terms of his drops. And last year we didn't really get anything from him.
He is like very consistent.
It's like features, if that.
It's like every 2 years, and he didn't even take a break for COVID because he dropped in 2019.
Exactly. The man doesn't take breaks. He's a professional.
Yeah.
And considering the timeline of like this whole script that people have been writing out and taking photos of what he's been doing, I think It's a Boy is naturally on the way. Beyond that, I think the third most likely is A$AP Rocky.
Well, that one's like pretty much confirmed. Like
that's what I'm saying. We're apparently supposed to be getting a single from it tonight. So you
like,
can expect this month or next month, the latest.
Yeah. I think like the title might not be confirmed, but I think like the album coming out is for sure.
Yeah, I think he had like the "Don't Be Dumb" thing at the last HBO concert or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Playboi Carti, I think it's time as well.
Well, he's saying it.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He said that about Narcissist and then flip-flopped, so we'll see.
He did say that about Narcissist. You're not wrong.
Am I gonna have to listen to Playboi Carti for this podcast?
You're going to have to finally listen to Playboi.
I mean, I've listened to Playboi Carti. I do not.
You like didn't dive in.
I love Playboi Carti, dude.
I mean, like he's good. He's high energy. Off the grid before that guy turned into.
Look, I'm gonna need you to figure out either Playboi Carti or Yeet. One of the two. Make your choice.
I'll
make
Carti. I'll play Playboi Carti. Playboi Carti, easy.
And
thank you.
Playboi Carti, easy.
Hot take. Whole Lotta Red is his best project to date, and I think he's going to keep getting better.
I remember I was like, when Whole Lotta Red dropped, I texted Purvis. I'm like, Purvis, should I jump into
Christmas? Too.
I was Christmas, yeah.
It's a Christmas album. It's a Christmas album. His next one is going to be December 25th of this year, and it's going to be Whole Lotta Green. It's going to be Whole Lotta Green. It's going to be both of them.
There's no way.
I was like, Purvis, should I listen to Whole Lotta Red? and he was like, "Whole lot of ass," and I'm like, "I'm good."
No, what? Get the fuck out of here.
At first, because it had to grow on me. Because it's very different from his other albums.
It is.
Isn't it like gothic?
I was like, okay, wait, this is actually
No,
good.
it's not. It's for me. It fills that void that Yeezus left, where I've constantly been looking for something that's like industrial rap, but in like a way that's very polished and not like hardcore. And it fills that hole for me, just like Yeet kind of does.
Yeah.
But it's like it's right up my alley. I love that style.
Okay. I'll listen to Playboy Cardi. When we get an official date, I'll binge.
His show was good too. I saw him at UIC.
UIC?
Yeah, I went
should
to
have
that.
went.
It was good. Yeah, I went with a buddy of mine, and man, they had to delay the show, and it was right after Astroworld had happened. It was like Thanksgiving of that year, and it was chaotic, but it was really good. Really good show.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you expect from Playboy Cardi.
Yeah. I felt like one of the older people there, which is very strange.
When me and Purvis went to see Brockhampton, we felt like that.
Yeah, that second time it was kind of weird.
There was like a collection. There was like maybe 20 people our age, like all in the center of the pit, and like
I was gonna say
in a sea of children. Like there was people with like Fantano beanies and like hood dudes.
Oh no,
like,
not the melon.
It was a lot going on.
That guy was cool.
But
yeah, let's keep going because we got.
I was gonna say, moving on from that, his twin, or as they say, Lil Uzi Vert, is coming out with the pink tape.
Playboy Cardi's twin is Amine.
Wow.
Let's go.
What's up?
Playboy Cardi's twin is Amine. Like,
that's racist. No,
just go look at that XXL. Like, it looks like they just put one of them twice. Like, I'm sorry.
Right.
Like,
I thought his. Oh no! That's Travis Scott and A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, that's a good.
Getting
one.
my black people confused.
Oh.
But his quote unquote twin, his best friend, Lil Uzi Vert. This has been rumored for a while. The pink tape. I feel like did you listen to the EP last year?
No, I heard like a bunch of I heard a bunch of his songs, like Whole Lot of Rock. You Can't Get Away From It, like
yeah.
Which I really like that
Jasper?
song. Yeah.
Jasper, did you get to the EP last year?
Last year.
Yeah, last year.
Eternal Attack was 2020, and then he did Pluto Baby Pluto with Future in 2020 as well. I don't think he did anything last year. It's been a minute.
He dropped Red and White, the EP.
Red and White.
Oh, it was like a leak, right? It wasn't like an official.
Yeah,
release.
I was gonna say because it's not on streaming.
No, it's on Spotify. I promise you.
Red and White is what it's called.
I'm looking at it right now.
Little Uzi Vert dropped last year.
I'm looking at it right now.
It doesn't have.
Oh, you know what? Yeah,
A lot of people looked over this. It does not have a lot of streaming numbers, especially for Lil Uzi Vert.
I'm gonna say this to come back to it. I didn't even know this was a project. I thought this was like some music video he was doing.
No,
because all the social media stuff was like kind of cryptic. But yeah, I'm gonna listen to this because I was waiting for a new Uzi. Eternal Attack got me through the start of the pandemic, 100%. That was like the album. Work all day inside, quarantine.
Yep.
Go out, go running. Eternal Attack's playing Celebration Station. You're just fucking.
Eternal Attack is really good. I like Eternal Attack.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, now you have this to listen to. Let me know what you think. I thought it was decent. As you can see, it does have a lot of streaming numbers, so like it's pretty low key. But I think naturally with that coming out, I think there's got to be a project on the way.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, I feel like Beyonce has already promised us there's going to be a follow up to Renaissance.
Yeah.
Again, this is somebody. This is a businesswoman. Like, let's be honest. Like the same thing with J. Cole. Just like about the business. If they say it's going to drop, you can.
And the other thing is that Beyonce is a woman of few words. She would very easily say nothing. Like
there'll be no news announcement at all about
she
this.
Would
like,
very happy.
She would
be more than likely she would just not say shit. But
there would be no posts.
Yeah,
you would get Renaissance, and that would be it.
Yeah, you just get Renaissance Act 2 whenever it came out. But she's already talked about how it's a 3-act project. So who knows?
Exactly.
This might be a year of 2 Beyonce albums. I might be in danger. Like
I did finally go back to it. I did.
It's
like
a
the
really
house
good
music.
album. It's
pretty
incredibly
good.
produced. It really is like the yin to honestly Nevermind's yang.
I
Like,
was literally gonna say it was the house music album that we deserved.
yeah,
um,
yeah.
but
So
moving on from
next one.
Beyonce,
Oh, my boy,
I
Danny
was gonna
Brown.
say I know you want to say it.
Danny
So.
Brown. Oh, Cortana. I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah.
Quaranta.
Something like that. I don't know.
40.
Aren't you the Spanish one?
I don't speak Spanish.
No,
I mean,
Spanish.
It's
Not
like
Spanish.
a misspell. It's like a misspelling of 40.
yeah,
40.
Right.
Quaranta.
Yeah.
It's
Well, you actually speak Spanish, Jasper. You can say it.
Yes, sir.
but yeah, it's I'm excited. I low-key thought this was gonna come out last year. Danny
Really?
Brown has never missed on an album. Never missed.
You know,
I'm standing
I'm
by
okay
this
with
one.
that.
I'm
I'm
standing.
okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Never missed. I'm not saying all of his albums are classics. I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time. I'm saying he's
But
never
none of
missed.
them are bad. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
they're all hits. And he is someone who puts out more regularly. Like he put out one in 2020. And his album, actually, until After Hours came out, was like the thing that got me through the pandemic.
Yep. This is the one.
So yeah,
Well,
between this and
is-
the rumored collab with JPEG, year
That's what I was
of
about to
Danny
say.
Brown.
Okay. So there's gonna. I'm assuming what was announced was a rumored 2 different albums. There's gonna be. Okay.
He was talking
I'll
about
follow
it on a stream. He was saying like, yeah, he's like, this one's done. Me
Oh,
and
okay,
JPEG are like on the way, like already halfway through, but need plenty of time, but still like he seems to be taking it very like professionally, very like this is just how things happen. Like it was another time where it was just like refreshing how direct it is.
Mhm.
And Danny Brown has never been like a cryptic guy. He's very like
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's
I love
hilarious.
The
I love his
podcasts, like
streams.
shorts that I see.
oh my god, I watch
They're
his stream
good.
sometimes.
They're good.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of dude all the way. I think he could be Detroit Snoop Dogg.
Detroit Snoop Dogg. Wow.
Hot take.
Well, that is in an advance. Like that's very. Who thinks of that, Brandon? There's no situation where I would say Detroit Snoop Dogg. There's never been a situation.
I don't think
where
any
my brain
single
would click to
person.
that.
I don't think
Has
any
ever
single
said that.
person
I'm
in
standing.
Detroit is anywhere near laid back enough to be compared to
To
Snoop
be
Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Danny Brown, maybe. I don't know about laid back, but like,
But like
Laid back.
literally, it's like, come on now. It's Snoop Dogg. There's no other Snoop Dogg. Who says Detroit Snoop Dogg? Who wants Detroit anyway?
I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
Eminem and Big Sean.
Hey,
I think
chill out.
I think Danny Brown is, like, look, Big Sean's great. I think Danny Brown's up there with. I think I prefer Danny Brown to Big Sean, just whole hog, like completely and totally.
I can't agree
Right,
with that.
and like full stop. I
Big
like.
Sean has way too many. Brandon, think about Lala. Big
Yeah,
Sean has way too many.
I'm not hating on Big Sean by any stretch. I think Big Sean's great. I'm not great, but like very good.
You're insane.
I just don't. He was just like my least favorite member of good music.
Fine, whatever.
You remember what Kanye said about him on Drink Champs?
I don't.
And then apologize.
He did apologize?
He did apologize.
I don't even know what he
Okay.
said.
He said that signing Big
The
Sean
worst
was
signing or
like
something
one of the worst mistakes of his career.
I
as
don't
a
know about that.
label
Like he's
holder.
not.
for no reason.
He's
For
not.
no, for no reason.
Just handing
He's
out
not
hats.
awful. Like I'm not hating on Big Sean, but like
Yeah.
I pretty easily take Danny Brown over Big Sean, and like probably a much more contested take. I'd probably take Danny Brown over Eminem.
Look, I didn't have my Eminem
that's
phase
tough.
yet, so I'm gonna just let it go.
Yeah.
I haven't had my Eminem phase, so I'm
Look,
just
if we're
let it go.
talking like who has the best album between the two, I think maybe the original's Marshall Mathers LP is probably the best one, but I think Danny Brown had a better career so far.
I'm almost a
that
decade removed from my
because-
Eminem phase, so I can't
Yeah.
comment on this.
I'm over a decade removed from my Eminem phase, and like,
Yeah.
he's legitimately good, but like not really relevant.
Well,
That's what I was
yeah.
gonna say. Are you saying that because of his more recent
No,
things are
I don't
bringing
think.
his image down?
Well, to be fair, I thought Eminem's last album was a big step in the right direction.
But what about the 3 prior?
Oh yeah, no, they're awful, and I hate.
Kamikaze, I didn't mind.
I didn't mind when he made fun of MGK so bad he switched genres, but like
Facts,
beyond that,
facts.
like I did not think I would ever walk into the Blue Store and Purvis would look at me and be like, "Did you hear the Eminem song?" That's a real thing that actually did happen.
That actually happened.
Oh
Like-
my god.
Once. It
Yeah.
happened once.
Yeah, he was like, "Did you listen to that?" It was like, and it was good. That was a good
It
two.
was actually good.
That was a great
Good.
2 weeks of white on white violence. Like,
Yeah.
But-
the manufactured beef by people on the same
Streaming
label.
live.
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
But
Enough.
Certified lab grown beef.
yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
that's my point. Danny Brown, he's better than your favorite rapper, probably.
He's on your list, so
High on my
get it.
list.
Um,
I would say, well, not J. Cole. Probably my second most anticipated
my-
project on this list. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Danny Brown does not top J. Cole and me. I'm just gonna say it. Like,
Brandon, I feel like you're slipping off of your Travis Scott phase because I got you hard into.
I
it
like
for
no.
a while.
Utopia is a question too. Like that's the thing. Like
Okay.
I could totally see a year
really
where I put
question.
Utopia above Quaranta. I can totally see that happening. I'm just saying, like right now, from a hype perspective, like on Thursday night, January 13th, I'm
12. 13. Yeah.
yeah, I'm saying I'm more excited for Quaranta.
Okay. Fair enough.
Ugh.
Another one I want to bring up. I'm gonna come back to the other one. Bodie James. I completely forgot about him with all the Griselda things we've been getting
Yeah,
last year.
because we didn't get
Where
anything
has
from
Bodie
him.
James been?
I don't know,
I
but
like almost forget he was in the group.
right, yeah.
He wasn't featured in anything. There was no albums. Everyone else was extremely active, dropping 1, 2, sometimes 3 projects.
Yeah,
And nothing from Bodie James, but apparently there's an album, Drug Dealer, supposed to be coming out this year.
I heard him and Stove God are finally supposed to get their Griselda albums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
they need
another
to come
guy.
on
That's
with
another
it.
guy that's on here that we probably should talk about. Stove God Cooks.
Yeah. Do you have the details? Do you know like anything that's supposed to be coming out for it or anything?
I
Like that?
just know that he signed to Griselda late 2021, I think, and he just didn't have an album to put out in 2022, but he's going to be putting one out this year.
Okay.
Who would win in a god fight? Stove God Cooks or Ugly God?
Oh, Stove God Cooks because he's like an actual criminal. Like,
Facts.
like,
Valid.
like,
And Ugly God is Ugly God. Like, come on.
Ugly God didn't. Ugly. I
Do
liked.
we really need to have this
I liked Ugly
No, we
God
don't.
more
It
than
was
I
just
ever liked
just for
any
the
of his
meme.
songs, but like,
Look, all I remember is Water. And it was catchy.
Water.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Water.
But yeah, that's coming out, and then we also have Sway Lee. I forget Ray Shremmerd was even a thing.
Yeah,
They
I'm
apparently
excited
have
for
broken
this.
up and had their separate things.
I'm excited for
Ray
this.
Strummer blew up during the time. There was like a 2-3 year period of my life where I just like did not listen to music all that much. I was not discovering a lot of new music. That's how I'll put it. Like I was only listening to the artists I already knew, really, just because like I was very into like college and like podcasts and stuff like that. So I never really listened to Ray Strummer besides the stuff that like was on the radio.
Black Beetle and
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah,
Man, they opened for Gambino when Gambino did the Awaken My Love tour.
yeah,
And
I know.
they were good live. Like they're super solid, and I'm excited for this. I feel like Sway Lee is underutilized and
Yeah.
hasn't had a real hit since Sunflower with Post Malone. So
I'm
ready.
Oh, they are in Sunflower.
I like
Okay.
Sway Lee.
yeah, me too.
Like I'm not
Man.
I'm not against these dudes by any stretch. I just never really not my thing.
You know what? Everyone listening to this show needs to go listen to Ray Shremmerd afterwards. I'm
Yes.
looking at No Flex Zone, Come Get Her, No Type. There is a
Swang.
lot of songs.
Swang.
Bruh.
I can't do it, but you know the part. You know the part.
Yes. Man,
gotta-
this is.
They had another
I
song.
forgot about them.
They had another song that was really
Black
good.
Beatles, the biggest one with
Black
Gucci
Beatles
Mane.
hit. Uh,
Everyone did the like freeze in the motion
No
thing and all this
Type.
other
No
stuff.
Yeah.
Type is
No
good.
type.
What was the one
Um,
about the?
it's-
What was the one about the green car? Where the hell is this? I'm gonna seem like such an old guy looking through
these
this.
are old things. Power Glide with Juicy J.
Power Glide. Power Glide.
Yep.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that song slaps. That's like just turn it on and get turned type music.
Perplexing Pegasus up in my Cosima.
Power
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel old. This
An
is
era.
crazy.
An era right there.
Yeah. I missed them. Okay, yeah, now I just got really excited. So yeah, Sway Lee is coming out with Human Nature. I think that's supposed to be the name. He says coming out early this year. And then Ray Sherman as a group is supposed to be coming out with Sherman like 4. So yeah, I'm super excited for both of those.
Yeah.
Another album coming out, a continuation of a series. It's like Sherman like 4. We have Trippie Redd coming out with a Love Letter to You 5. Jasper, how do you feel about Trippie Redd? I'm curious.
It's tough. I haven't listened to enough of his solo stuff. I mostly know him as a feature. I know the hits. I don't mind him. I mean, I think he fits like an interesting niche for me, not knowing as much of his older stuff, directly in between the sounds of Juice World and Playboi Carti. For me,
You
he's like
literally just took the word. I was waiting for you to finish because I was going to say that.
he's
And
the
I was like,
stopgap.
I
He's
thought
like
you
in
would
between.
love him
I
because
do.
like it's
I
a
like a lot
perfect
of his
balance
stuff.
between the two.
And I've heard all these things online about people saying he's fallen off and all this, and the new stuff I've listened to I've liked. So I don't know what people are complaining about, but I have to go back and go through the whole archives and listen to everything.
Yeah.
Man, look, the fact that you just said all that, we are like perfectly into. So I want you to go back and listen. Like literally, go back and listen to Trippie Redd because I feel like you like him a lot.
Yeah, I really like. I mean, I like the hits. I like "Mr. Rage" a lot. That's a solid track that goes on my
so
likes
many
and
songs.
comes up in rotation all the time for me.
Yeah, he's
So
cool.
many songs.
That's kind of how I feel.
I knew that
about
was
him.
going to be your
I
response.
feel like I like him. Like,
He did a terrible episode of Sneaker Shopping, though. I will say.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
another
know
thing.
sneaker shopping.
Yeah. Look, he's cool. Like, if I hear it's good, I'll listen to it. Like, because I have a hip hop show now. But
There you go.
You are now responsible to listen.
I now
I
have
will
to.
send you like.
I've
5
liked him on
songs.
features. He was that one song of Man on the Moon 3. I'm like, oh, this was cool. But,
Yeah, Rockstar Nights.
Oh,
that song hits too. I love that
yeah.
track.
Yeah.
That's an underrated
I don't know
song.
if I love that track, but like it's good. It's very good.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. Like,
Yeah.
Was it
All
my
right,
favorite songs on the album? Probably not, but
I could see that. Yeah.
yeah. So those are all like the hardcore, like
Confirmed.
confirmed, as
Everything.
close to confirmed as we get in this business.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
how you
This
get
isn't
relaxed
the
for it.
movie business where you get announcements 3 years out to appease the stockholders. This is like,
Right.
Unless you're Marvel, and then it's like 7 years, right?
yeah,
Right.
Oh yeah, Black
You-
Panther
you
3,
get what you get.
2029.
yeah,
And I would be investing.
yeah, and I'd be there.
But
Right.
I guess going across some like wishes, I was doing a lot of research. I won't list all of them that I have here. Some wishes, Schoolboy Q.
I think Schoolboy Q is
I
like
think it's time.
I think it's likely. I would put like if we're separating these into likely, neutral, and unlikely, I would put Schoolboy Q in likely.
So you're putting this with confirmed almost.
Almost, yeah. I would say
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say we could kind of divide all these into like those two, like 3 categories.
Mhm.
Just because like Soccer Dad slapped. I saw a post that apparently like he was just saying like, yeah, the album's coming, but like I'm just focusing on being a dad, and just like that slows shit down. And it's like, all
Yeah,
right, respect. That's fine. Like, just
Honestly,
as long as you tell me you're gonna put out an album, take your time, buddy. At least for
I was
Schoolboy.
going to say I will wait for it.
Yeah, at least because like it's not like it's gonna be 7 years, like
No.
you know. So and I liked Soccer Dad a lot. It wasn't in my top 10 of last year, but it was a good song.
I agree. I almost forgot that was a single that came out.
Yeah,
Then I think what's going to be my 3 wishes. I feel like this is almost jumping into likely, but Chance the Rapper. Then
I think that's.
I don't
also
think
likely.
it's right. I think it's getting there. He has singles. It's just a matter of doing it.
Yeah,
It's like put in the work and do it. I do want a Daniel Caesar. I need me an R&B album, and like every year I need at least 2 or 3 R&B albums, and like I've already gotten I got Brett Fayez last year.
Yeah.
It's like I need someone else new in the rotation, and then Don Tolliver. You know, that's one of my Angel boys.
I would 100%
those
Don
are my
Tolliver.
3 dreams.
I would put Don Tolliver in likely also.
You think so?
I think it's likely, yeah.
I'm trying to see it because, like, I know there's been maybe one single and some advertisement on TikTok with like this weird dance he's been doing.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
So I guess like my wishes. One of the ones I have in here under like wishes, I should have put under confirmed because it's confirmed now. Kevin Abstract solo. I really want to hear the post Brockhampton Kevin Abstract album. I'm very interested in that. And that's been confirmed now that he tweeted that it's going to be coming out this year. Who knows if it actually will? Usually it does. Eventually,
we can hope.
Yeah, he's over 500, but there's precedent.
He is coming off a year of like basically a solo project.
Yeah.
So like maybe winter.
Yeah. Oh, definitely later in the year. Yeah, definitely later in the year. Another one This is my big wish. This is the main one I want. I want Run the Jewels 5. It's this year. It will either be because what I did was I kind of did some math. Like, okay, is this going to be like how long are the gaps between these album releases? And the thing about Run the Jewels is they grow every time the album releases longer. Like Run the Jewels 2 was only a year after Run the Jewels 1. And then it was 2.5 years, and then it was almost 4 years.
4 years,
and then we'll be at 4 years in end of November, or 3.5 because it was December 2017 to June 2020, end of May 2020. That equivalent is November. And last summer, I had heard. I mean, once again, LP confirmed it. He's like, yeah, there's going to be a Run the Jewels 5, and there's going to be at least one more album. So like, there's no ambiguity about if it's gonna come. It's just a matter of when. He said he was working on music. And the only thing he said to clarify was that it was not a solo project. Okay. So I'm hoping, just because I just want to know like what kind of societal collapse is gonna have to happen for a Run the Jewels album to drop, because that's what happens when they do.
I was literally about to say there are consequences for this foolish Brandon.
And, like they just keep getting worse. Like it was like
gonna say last time their album dropped, I was cleaning up glass.
Like
the blue store.
Like they drop during riot season, I guess. So I guess you just gotta figure out if riot season's gonna happen this year.
It'd be when California finally has that earthquake and separates from the rest of the U.S.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Into the ocean.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That basically is 100%.
What's gonna happen in LA? Come on.
If there's like
get your music video shoots in now before it happens.
That's why I live where it's cold, so that doesn't happen. And the bugs die.
We deal with 10 feet of snow.
Yeah, and I'm happy to do it.
This isn't Buffalo.
Yeah. We don't get that much snow. We get the bitter cold. That's what we get.
We can get it, though.
Yes.
Okay, I get it really bad because I'm so close to the lake, and I'm always so close to the lake.
There you go.
Oh, my God. But yeah, that's my number one wish is Run the Jewels 5. Just because, like, I think if this is as good as any of their last albums, they have officially done a 5-album perfect run, and I think they become like in the conversation for greatest hip hop group of all time. Like seriously considered, like depending on how good it is, like maybe even above Outkast. If you're asking me,
I was just gonna ask you that, so that's perfect.
Yeah. I could totally see a world where
Purvis's face, I'm fucking dead. Oh
look,
my God.
I could totally see a world where like Run the Jewels 5 comes out, it doesn't disappoint me, and I still say Outkast. But I'm saying it.
I know how much you like Run the Jewels, so that's why I'm like, okay, fine. But that's saying a lot.
It is saying a lot. But
that's gonna put you under. Isaac is going to call you and put you under fire.
I love Outkast. Like I love Outkast. Like
I know.
But like Run the Jewels doesn't have that boombox, whatever, that double album bullshit.
Speaker box.
Yeah,
Look. I feel like Outkast is one of those groups that's just it's going to be always held at a certain level. You do not challenge it. You do not question it. You just gotta accept it.
Okay, here's a point I have to make about how good Run the Jewels is, because
Okay.
because there was like a thing on Killer Mike's Instagram like 2 years ago. It was like it was maybe summer 2021, like when people were still starting to gather, like right after the pandemic, and it's him hanging out with Big Boy and Andre because he's from the Outcast group. And he's talking about an interview he did back in the day where he's like, where he like beat up on him, like, why didn't you guys ever like reach out to LP? Like, he's so good. And Big Boy and Andre admitted they fucked up by not reaching out to LP during Outkast's heyday. So, like, you got to put respect where respect is given by the people you respect. Wow.
Did you both see what happened with the Donna Deluxe release?
Referring to what?
It
The
was
song that he's on?
so Andre 3000 is on Life of the Party
Yeah.
on the Donna Deluxe release.
All right.
That came very, very close to being their kind of reunion on a track.
Yeah, and that was the other thing, is that like Run the Jewels 4, they teased having an Outkast reunion.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean, Kanye's kind of was on that kick with, Clips,
Yeah.
that whole thing on Jesus is King. And then, but they said, in an interview, they both kind of said separately, they decided they wanted to do it on potentially maybe their own project or a song that they kind of do together, not somebody else's. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I remember when I listened to this whole podcast talking about LP's whole career, and they recorded a song for Run the Jewels 4, and it just didn't make the cut, and they weren't able to finish it. And that breaks my heart, because like that's my
That would
dream.
be nice.
That is actually low key my dream crossover,
Collab?
is Run the
Yeah.
Jewels and Outkast. I think like you just do not get a better combination. So that's my thing. I think the stakes are high, but they're in an incredible position. And the fact that
The
like,
two best duo groups.
yeah, I think 100%. So, and then the other one that it seems like this one's damn near confirmed because of some drama, but Tyler the Creator.
Dude,
Oh yeah,
It's about time.
Wrong name
It's
or
about
something.
time. And not only do I like every project he puts out, because like I was not a fan of like the original 3 he put out, and
Same.
I aggressively dislike Cherry Bomb. But
I was only gonna say the only one I don't like is Cherry Bomb.
I kind of like Wolf. Wolf is like okay, like this is pretty good. Like
Wolf has
Yesterday,
songs
believe
that
it
are
or not.
good.
yeah,
but
Wolf has
God,
yeah. But not only do I like, Call Me If You Get Lost more than Igor, which I already loved, and I loved Igor more than Flower Boy, and I loved Flower Boy. I like them all more as time goes on. I'm really like, Tyler's a creative visionary that we really don't have.
That's a bad
many,
man. Yeah.
Yeah, that we really don't have many of. And like,
When I think of Tyler, I think of like Childish Gambino
I
because you
think
got acting, you got writing, comedy,
pure creativity.
albums,
Pure-
acting. Like
he could do anything. Like, and
So
I'm not the biggest fan of his music, but I'm just excited for him to be participating in shit. Like,
I was looking through the doc we have here, and I added Tyler like right at the end there because I noticed he was missing. But I can almost guarantee you one of 3 things is going to happen this year. One, he's going to release a new album because every single release like clockwork has been on an odd year. Goblin was 2011, Wolf was 2013, Cherry Bomb 2015, Flower Boy 2017, Igor 2019, Call Me If You Get Lost 2021, and it's now 2023. 7th project.
yeah, he's due.
it's true.
Yeah, he's due.
So I can guarantee you it's either going to be that, or he's going
Perfectly
to
on
do,
schedule.
or he's going to do 2 other things. He's going to either be starring in a film, or he's going to be doing a film score,
Yeah.
or maybe some combination of all 3.
I cannot
But
wait for Tyler to start doing film scores because I think it's a matter of time.
he said
Didn't
it
he
on.
technically do one already?
He said it on Call Me If You Get Lost. He said, I'm writing, producing, and writing music for TV shows, movies soon. On that kind of like interlude track where he's talking about how good life is.
Yeah.
So it's only a matter of time before we see something kind of like, pop culture influence that's going to do it. I mean, he's already been doing so much other stuff. Like LaFleur took off last year
Yeah.
and a little bit before that as well. And yeah, it's just,
I was literally about to
He's
say,
going.
didn't he technically do the Grinch? Like, isn't that a score technically?
Oh,
I
that's
don't
like
know.
I think that's closer to like the Black Panther thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But
But,
yeah, that's who I got.
Jasper, do
Oh,
you have any wishes then?
one last thing. I do
Okay.
just want to point out that because I was crunching those numbers on like album gaps, and the weekends, like the cycle between After Hours and Dawn FM, that would if
It's
it's
time.
the same, it would be in the end of November or like the beginning of November, because it was just it was 2 months less than 2 years. So that would put
Okay.
it at the end of this year. And considering the fact that he says that this is the end of a trilogy, I think it's possible. I'll say that's an artist. I don't mind if I get a year off. That's fine. That is
Yeah.
okay. But I just think like mathematically it might be possible.
I mean, now that you bring it up, and we don't have to dive too deep into it because I know we can get carried away. With the weekend, do you want something more like Don FM or do you want something more like After Hours?
I want
Because they are different enough. Even though they're in a trilogy, you can tell the difference.
Yeah, no, they're different enough. This is a cop-out answer, but I want the end of the trilogy. I imagine it's going to change again. I imagine the difference between Dawn FM and
Totally
this.
different.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, they're not totally different. It's not as big of a change up as like Beyonce did, or even Drake ill-fatedly did. But yeah, no, I think it's just going to be like in a completely different direction. I have no idea what that direction could be. I was thinking maybe something like old, like 80s. There's a band that I listen to. They have the song "Tainted Love," where it's like very grimy and synthy. Because like After Hours is very like shiny, and like Dawn FM is very like housey. So something that like kind of takes that and like molds it with the House of Balloons sound, I think would probably be the thing I want most. But it's chef's order. Like whatever he wants to give me, I'll listen.
I'll deal with it. Okay. But all right, Jasper, what are your wishes? If we haven't taken them.
So I would say my most anticipated is, I mean, it's confirmed, but Travis Utopia is probably my most anticipated overall. But of things that we're looking at that are kind of just wishes, top of the list has got to be Tyler for me, followed by Pusha T, and then Don Toliver. I mean, my most listened song of last year on Spotify was Lumberjack, and Tyler was my top artist of last year. For Call Me If You Get Lost and Igor kind of split. So I'm just really excited for new stuff, and whichever direction he goes, I'm perfectly fine with, because Igor I think is like nearly perfect as it is, and it's so nice to me when an artist can make an album that is so simple in like the theme or the concept, but it's still very personal, and it kind of really strikes a chord because you understand, you feel what they're feeling. And for me, that's Igor and like Blonde and things like that. That is like another level of like artistry to me.
Yeah.
But then the exact flip side of that is Call Me If You Get Lost, which is this kind of dense and packed and just very verbose album. But it deals with a lot of the same concepts, and it does it in a completely different way. And I love that. Because, I mean, if you think about it, they're both about the same thing, these albums. They're just stylistically complete, in my opinion, opposite ends of the spectrum, you know? Heavy synth and like some rapping, a lot of singing, voice modulation, to like super heavy hitting beats and
Almost
class,
like a
like bringing it back. Yeah, mixtape styling. You get a lot of materialism, a lot of kind of like opulence being reflected on that, which I think is like an interesting take too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that approach. I think it's great that he said, you know, I've got everything I want except for the thing I really want. And I think that's like a message in music that I think goes overlooked a lot of the time, because you get a lot of sad rap and you get a lot of rap about, you know, being wealthy, and there's not a whole lot of, you know, crossover.
Those two together.
Yeah, so that's my most anticipated. I mean, Pusha T, I'm excited, you know.
Yeah.
That was my top album of last year, was It's Almost Dry. So anything he does, I don't think he can miss at this point right now, especially with Drama, who made, you know, Call Me If You Get Lost so fire, for lack of a better word. And then just more Don Toliver, I'm excited. I mean, when Travis drops, you know, I think Don Toliver is not far behind, and I'm sure he's going to get features and playtime and vice versa. So very excited about both of those.
Definitely.
I think this would be a turning point for Don Toliver.
Yeah.
This is where he can like kind of make it or break it type of thing.
I could see that.
I hope
Obviously,
so.
it's not like what's the word that I'm trying to think? It's not like a
It's not like his last shot.
ultimatum or anything like that. Like it's not like, all right, it's here and now or never. It's just like, okay, this could really be your moment.
I think it's like when he becomes truly mainstream versus being like a little bit more niche in the way his albums have kind of been, accepted so far.
Yeah, and I think the question is like right now, is he going to be like Travis Scott, and is this going to be Rodeo, or is this going to be The Big Day?
I would love for this to be more towards Rodeo, please.
Yeah,
it's his own style, something good.
He had that single that came out like in November, right?
Yes.
I liked it
because that's what the crazy dance on TikTok is too.
Or I might be thinking about the song on the Metro Boomin album.
Do It Right. Do It Right was this past year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his actual single.
Yeah, Do It Right. November. Do It Right was absolutely what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it came out.
Yeah, I like Do It Right, so.
Yeah, it is good. And his features of him actually rapping on Metro Boomin is good.
Yeah, and the song on Metro Boomin's album is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he on two of them?
I believe he is on more than one song.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me double check.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I liked both of them, but
if I wouldn't even be mad if sonically he doesn't branch out that much, but gives us more in kind of the melodic space. Like when I think of Don, when I think of Don Toliver, I think of the song Euphoria. And like how hard that hits. To me, that's like his 90210. Yeah. I would love to see stuff like that coming from Don Toliver.
Yeah.
Brandon's heard an earful of me praising Don Toliver.
I've heard it. Yeah, I heard it all.
I love Heaven or Hell.
I mean, it's good. It's good. It's good. I liked Heaven or Hell.
Yeah, he's got a very unique voice, and I think that's something that he can really kind of take advantage of.
I just think all the music he's put out is just like. Well, not all of it. Like he's had like great songs. It's just like I don't think any of the albums have like really popped off. I thought Heaven or Hell was good. I thought Life of a Don 2 was pretty lame, to be honest.
I mean, it's one of those things where like I feel like it's just you're on Cactus Jack. I feel like it's such a hard thing to step out of Travis's shadow.
It is
in a way.
Yeah, and he'll
always sound a little like him.
Yeah,
and he's done the best job for sure.
You're kind of linked, like
yeah.
They even stylistically they kind of look the same. Like I showed, and this is old white man moment, but I showed my dad the video for Can't Say because it was one of my favorite music videos of when it came out, and he was like, "Is that the same guy doing both voices?" Because the braids and the suits.
Yeah.
He just like didn't put it together that it was actually two different people, and I could see where that's coming from, but at the same time, it's like you develop your own style as you mature as an artist. So who knows?
I was going to say, he's getting there in terms of anyone else signed to the label. He's definitely made his own image.
I mean, it's not Check West.
Yeah.
It is most definitely not Check West or Sophia or anyone else.
Man, Purvis used to pick me up by just playing that song outside my parents' house.
Just boombox over the head.
Just out of his car.
In the old Hyundai? Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
Nah. Oh my god.
But yeah, that's all the projects, or the albums, I should say. But like, we've talked a lot about collaboration projects.
Yeah.
And like our wishes. What do you see could be coming out, and what do you see would actually be like good?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like these are all kind of like a little bit more wishy.
This is a wish list for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely a wish list.
Yes.
The one you have on
here. This is all like I wish.
The one I really would like is Schoolboy Q and Griselda. Like, I really want him to go to Griselda and do some a project with them. I think
which they have made posts together.
Yeah, so I think it's totally possible. Sticking with that same one, Run the Jewels and Griselda. They were on a Griselda track. That
would be pretty good too.
They were on a Griselda track last year. I'd like them to be maybe get Westside and Benny on a Run the Jewels track. That'd be dope.
Is that the one with A$AP Rocky? I think they're on the same song.
No, you're thinking of Cheat Codes.
Oh.
Yeah, on the cheat code on that the song they're featured on in Cheat Codes, it's with A$AP Rocky, which is also really good. That's also a partnership that I think could be really great. Is Run the Jewels and A$AP Rocky.
That'd be interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Besides that, probably the same collabs I've always wanted and just never gotten. I really want Kid Cudi in the Weekends.
Ooh, that would
Cudi in
hit.
the Weekend.
Yeah, Kid Cudi in the
That would hit.
Weekends. I really want to
Would
see.
that be sad or happy?
I have no
Yes.
idea.
Like where they are in their careers.
I
It
don't
would
know.
be it would be like Passion Pain and Demon Slayer. It starts out the darkest, saddest shit you've ever heard, and then becomes like
And then they
joyous at
crank
the
it
end.
up.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? Oh, Childish and Anderson .Paak. That's another one.
Oh, yeah, that would hit too, man.
That would be.
Right, that's a really good one.
Yeah, and then because of the video you sent me right before we were recording, I would love to see Denzel and Smino.
That would be insane.
That'd be insane.
Who knew they were cousins?
Yeah.
Like actual blood cousins.
Yeah, like
they're gonna have a war against Kendrick and Baby King.
Yeah, that would maybe. I literally said that. I'm like, it's gonna be them, and it's like, I'm sorry, but I think Denzel and Smino are both better than Keem. But Kendrick,
Yes, they are both better than Keem. And then Kendrick comes in with an RKO and just flexes everyone off. I think my dream, even though Kid Cudi already said he's not gonna do it anymore, it was more the face. Travis Scott and Kid Cudi with the Scots would be insane.
Yeah,
I
he already
like the
confirmed
single a
that
lot.
was-
I'll keep
that
it
was
real.
on.
Yeah, Kid Cudi already said it ain't happening.
I know. I hate some. I love Kid Cudi like as an artist, like a lot.
Okay.
But sometimes I just kind of hate the way he behaves. Like,
That's why I've been sending you a couple things on like
That's-
social media. I'm just like, why is he doing this?
that's temperamental artists in general. You know, you
Yeah.
can't win them all.
And, like,
so
here's the-
many people are just.
here's the thing. I'm willing to take, to be, like, I hear about Kid Cudi and Kanye. I'm like, okay, Kanye is clearly the worst of the two. Like, let's see what's going on. But then, like, you hear someone like Lupe Fiasco coming for Kid Cudi.
I'm just like, come on.
And it's like, well, no, it's like, this guy has more integrity than most, like, in labels put together. Like, for me. Like, when Lupe says it, I'm like, okay, I take that a little bit more seriously.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's why it's like, okay, come on. What are you actually arguing with Lupe about? Because, like, in reality, Lupe is such a figure in, like, what he's actually done, what he stands for, what he has accomplished in his career. Like, he's not someone you just, like, have petty, bitter arguments with.
Yeah.
Like,
he's not Pete Davidson. He's not.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, it's not.
You
Which
speak
is-
to this
which is funny
person
'cause-
like a professor as what he actually is.
It's funny that you say that because Cudi and Pete are actually close.
I know.
friends.
I was getting them mixed up, but
Exactly. Yeah.
that's my thing. Is that Kid Cudi just like he strikes me as someone who's like pretty immature, but like he's also one of the best.
It's just
artists
always
I've
random.
ever-
It's always random. Like I'll see something on
Yeah.
like Instagram or Twitter where it's just like some fan was like, "Oh, I like the original cover. It's like a classic cover. That's
There's-
what we
there's
engraved in
like-
our brains." He's
there's
just
like
like,
something-
"No, I like the
Wait,
new one." And it's
I
just
have
like,
to.
okay, come on.
I have to add something here. Cuddy said in the middle of last year, about I think 4 months before Intergalactic came out, that he was no longer managing his own Twitter. So someone else has been managing his Twitter. Someone who works on his team. The only tweets that are actually from him are signed -Scott. So
Yeah.
I've
I
seen this.
didn't know about the signature part.
I've seen
Yeah.
this. I've seen this before too, where it's like someone who's managing the Twitter is like going off on people and like being very defensive.
It's like, why?
Yeah,
And maybe it is him and it's bullshit, but either way, it's like this has happened before and I've seen it in the past as well.
I feel like there is no way, like, because I was watching this shit like as it happens, like the thing about the album where he's like telling fans like,
Yeah.
"No, I don't give," because like I just think that's inappropriate to tell a fan like what they fuck with or not. Like they're fucking with you
agree.
either way.
Literally.
And like
I
I'm
100%
watching this
agree.
happen in real time, and it's like if this is someone doing it on your behalf and there's not an apology, what's the fucking?
You need to
difference?
stop. Right. You,
Yeah,
you
I
need
agree.
to stop.
Totally valid.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my biggest pet peeves is when like
Yeah.
artists single people out and make them, feel shitty with all of their platform
I
and
think-
influence. I remember when Kendrick did that to that girl on stage. That one
Yeah,
time.
no, and that was really
Yeah.
shitty of him. I do.
Super shitty.
Yeah.
That's like part of the reason I didn't listen to Kendrick for a long time is like I was bitter about that and like some other shit. And I was just like, man, fuck this.
Yeah, I don't.
So
Yeah, I definitely feel like Kid Cudi has a bit of Samaritan complex, where
Yeah,
like he
it's-
has like this very noble goal that like he grounds all of his music in, because he cares about the mental health of children, and he genuinely does. He genuinely does, and he genuinely helps a lot of people in that regard, right? He's helped me
Kid
before.
Cudi has saved people's lives.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go so far
like
as to say that
thing.
for me, but he has been like he has helped me and like where that's been. So like, he has this noble goal, but I feel like a lot of people like when they do that and then they actually make an impact, they take that to be like now no one can fuck with me. Now no one like now anything I do is good because like I'm working towards this goal. It's a save the children thing about how
I
the
think
people,
there's I think there's a little bit of that, but I think another big part of it is that he kind of has that classic artist temperament.
Yeah.
Where it's like when you're putting everything into something and someone comes along and either doesn't fully understand it or does understand it but just doesn't like it and is not creatively in the same space or just disapproves. I think it's hard for him to take criticism, and I think that he and Kanye are very alike in that way, but at the same time the sheer self-confidence that Kanye oozed for the better part of 20 years really kind of made up for that, where he didn't feel the need to answer to or to justify anything because I'm fucking Kanye West. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want, and you're gonna buy it anyway. But I think Cudi doesn't quite have that, so I think he gets very defensive because he's like passionate about what he makes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that, but like,
it doesn't justify it.
Yeah,
but I think that's kind of where it comes from.
Look, I understand that like I'm not a creative on the same level that Kid Cudi is, but like I am someone who does that for a living, and then like on the side, and then also like this whole thing. And it's like, get the fuck over it. Like that's part.
I couldn't agree more, but I think it's just it's one of those childish.
It's just it's just like that's just my thing. It's just like okay.
I think the real issue is the consistency of him doing it.
Yeah.
If it was a one-off situation,
then
it's like, okay, it's one of those things. It's just like, okay, why are my friends mad at me? It's not just this one thing.
Yeah.
It's a continued consideration of like, randomly one day a fan's like, oh, I like the original version of Love. And he's like, I'm taking it down. That's bitter childish.
Yeah, that's bitter childish.
In my opinion.
Against your fans, too. It's one thing, like,
literally someone's complimenting you and you're upset.
Literally complimenting you. Like,
that don't make sense.
I don't know how we got on this, but it's just like, I love Kid Cudi. I just don't want to get to the point where I resent him a little bit because it's just like that's kind of how it feels now. And like, I hope he drops more music, but it doesn't sound like he's going to.
Not for maybe not in the same format.
Yeah. I could see him showing up on some features. After all, I said I wanted The Weeknd and Kid Cudi more than.
All right, bet. One other thing that I wanted to kind of jump over, because I told you, Brandon, I'm not missing any more concerts. If people are going on tours and I like them, I'm going to see them.
I have made the decision that like especially if I can level up in the next couple months, I'm never missing another big concert ever again, unless there's like another concert the same day. That's going to be the only time you have to choose. Like,
right. And that's happened last year.
Kid Cudi versus Riot Fest.
Yeah, that was the origin of the three of us. Yeah,
literally.
No, I'm not. If any of these artists go on tour that you have on the list, I'm there. Like even the one I like the least.
I already know which one you like the least, but I put it there for a reason. I
would still go. All five of these are easy buys.
So the first one is Childish Gambino. You both have seen Childish Gambino, correct?
Yes. And I will be there.
I don't like you guys. I will be there. I'm extremely jealous, and I want to see.
Yeah, I'll be there. I know. I think like pretty much everyone in my life would buy a ticket to that. Like I know I was talking to Jeff, like I sent to him because we saw Childish Gambino together.
We all know if he comes to town, we're putting on a mass group chat.
Yeah,
someone's just gonna.
I told Rachel, and she's like, "Well, just let me know. We'll buy 2 tickets." It's like, okay,
we're gonna go. So that's absolutely a must. I would love to have that this year. I think Travis Scott. I don't know how I feel about it yet because I know he's going to have to go through a lot of pressure and expectations.
I feel like
the disaster.
Yeah,
but
I feel
need
like
Travis Scott.
I feel like a Travis Scott tour. I feel like that might be a 2024 thing.
Me too. I agree.
Kind of expand it out, push
it
out.
I think like
album,
let it die down a little bit. Don't get me wrong. Like I think it's time, and like I'd be there. That one's a no brainer. Travis Scott, low-key, might be
Agreed.
just because I've seen so many of my favorite artists in the last like year and a half. Like Travis Scott is probably number 2.
I was really gonna say, he's on my like dream list.
Yeah.
Travis Scott, Brandon, if we go, Jasper, if we go, we're seeing a different side of each other.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be.
I will be in the mosh pit.
We are gonna have to
trying
request
kill
off
everyone
for
around
like
me.
3 days.
My one regret is that I didn't start listening to Travis Scott sooner. He is the number 1 pick for artist I need to see live who I haven't
Literally.
yet.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I
Like,
want to
yeah,
see him
he's-
so bad.
I'm putting on a knee brace and I'm going right into the mosh pit.
Dude, I'm going crazy. I'm
And
screaming.
this is how we
I am
get
bringing.
Astroworld.
I am bringing fire. I'm gonna make Astroworld.
Putting on a GoPro helmet and everything.
I am going to make.
Unpaid, nobody's going live.
I'm gonna make Astroworld look like Kittyland. Like.
I need to see him absolutely just open a pit to the second half of Stargazing.
Yeah.
Literally.
Stargate.
Oh my
Everyone
god.
Lose their mind. Just I don't care
Dude, if
what
I hear,
song it is.
dude, if I hear all through the late night live, I'm punching someone.
Of all the songs, I don't think that's going to be one of them.
Yeah.
Just start swinging on everybody.
I hear, dude, fucking Goosebumps comes on.
Goosebumps
Game over.
will be
Drugs
coming
we should
on.
try.
Have you
Maria,
guys
I'm
seen?
drunk.
Have you
Maria,
guys
I'm
seen
drunk.
the?
I love Maria, I'm drunk.
Maria, I'm drunk would hit. Have you guys seen the video of his performance from 2019 at Governor's Ball?
No.
Oh my god, it's so good. You guys should check it out. It's like they edited together kind of like a recap of it, and it's excellent. Just so good.
I mean, you know how I feel about the documentary. I've seen it like 5 times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Look Mom I Can Fly is great. If audience, if you haven't seen Look Mom I Can Fly, go on Netflix and watch it. It is good.
Please watch it.
Documents the whole behind the scenes process of the making of Astroworld. Super good documentary.
And it's worth it. My other like dream, obviously.
Frank. It's Frank.
Well, Frank is what goes without saying, but realistically, like,
Is it gonna happen?
How much is Coachella tickets? Let's be honest here. How much is it?
let's find out. I want to know.
Can I put a loan?
I have someone. I know someone. I know 2 people who work in the industry. Let me see.
Oh snap!
Also,
look, hold on, time out. If we get Coachella tickets or some kind of hookup,
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, that'll be a off the air thing.
Pre-sale begins
just gets up
Friday.
and walks away.
Hey, pre-sale begins tomorrow at
I know.
11 a.m. Pacific.
And I'm going to be there just to see how much it costs.
Why do they not have pricing?
Might
That's
just buy it
crazy.
anyway. If I have to flip
View
it, I flip
passes. Here we go. We have a view passes section. This isn't bad.
Do they have one days? Because
They
I
have-
really just need to go on Sunday.
They have weekends.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I mean, seeing everybody on that list for one weekend for $500 is not bad, in my opinion.
It's not bad, but I don't have $500.
I thought you had an envelope with $500 in it that was specifically for Frank Ocean. We talked about this
Pusha
at the
T
Pusha T
told
concert.
you
Yeah,
to
that
put
was-
it in the and lock the safe.
Yeah, well,
What happened?
inflation's a bitch, dude. Like, Jesus Christ, I make the least amount of money here. Like,
No shot. Oh my god.
yeah, inflation's a
Look,
bitch.
if
Like,
we could go to Coachella, I'm just saying, I might buy the tickets. I'm down if we could go to Coachella and
Yeah.
it's worth it. If I could buy a 1-day pass,
Yeah, the 2023 GA passes allow entrance to venue and day parking lots all 3 days. GA pass holders may also visit GA camping areas. So that could be a whole fucking vibe.
we'll discuss this off camera.
Yes, we will.
we gotta
Now
see.
to get
We gotta
into
see. My tune might change in 6 days. Like,
Same.
what just happened.
we'll talk. Like,
let's see how this goes.
I am just saying
One
right
more
now
week.
that like this is gonna have to be a donation. Just putting
Man,
it out there.
Somebody sponsor us.
Yeah.
bringing it back a little bit more realistically than Frank. I think Tyler would be my other.
Tyler
pick.
is number 1 on my list of artists I
So-
want to see.
I'm
wanna
super
see
salty
Tyler.
because I saw Tyler at Coloring Day in 2016, and that
Same.
was That was the year before Flower Boy dropped, when he went into his good music era. I didn't like anything before that except for like a couple things off of Wolf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like seeing him live, it was not a good show for him. The crowd didn't know the stuff, and then Kanye came out and made him look like a chump afterwards, because that was like right after that.
That is true.
But did you guys see that video of him performing in London this summer?
I did.
Doing New Magic Wand, and the whole like the camera pans and it's like thousands of people just lining this massive barricade. I need to go to that. I think that could go harder than anything at a Travis show. That one song.
My boy Jeff went to see him at Lala last year, and he's not even the biggest Tyler fan, and he's like, this was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
I'm an idiot. I wanted to go to that, but that's when COVID was still like popping.
Yeah, I did not. Yeah, I did not. Yeah.
Hindsight's 2020. I should have gone and just said fuck
yeah.
It,
but, no, I totally agree. But
it's what it is.
Yeah. And then my number one is Tyler the Creator. That's it. Earth Gang, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, well, if they're in town, we'll go.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm like, man, I can't wait to Earth Gang.
Yeah. And like even artists that like I haven't seen, like I guess like the artist I love the most I haven't seen is like Big Crit, but it's like, does he ever come here? I don't think so.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know if
you know what?
Tour, if I'm being honest.
I just realized we kind of moved on to the tours and concerts section of this, but I don't think I ever gave my desired collabs and projects.
Oh, yeah?
Go ahead. This is a very loose podcast.
I've had an idea.
You have no structure.
Childish Gambino is coming back into music, allegedly.
Well,
I would kill. Well, we'll see. I would kill to see a Childish Gambino Thundercat collab.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm shocked. I think the Thundercat was he not on Awaken My Love at all?
He might have been featured very briefly instrumentally, but his voice isn't, I don't think.
No, not his voice at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. I love Thundercat.
Thundercat is super solid. And then the other thing I would love to see is, I mean, Kid Cudi and Gambino have never worked together, but I think that could yield something super interesting.
They always teased it too. Like back in the early days, they teased a collab for
in like 2012 or something. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and then I mean, also Tyler and Kid Cudi have never done anything.
Yeah.
No.
Could be cool.
I stand by
a whole new sound for all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think the one I want the most is Denzel and Smino.
I mean, we're seeing Smino. He very well could show up. Yeah. Considering Jid and Smino are performing in Chicago, I would not be surprised if Denzel showed up.
Yeah. I have another one that I think you guys are either going to love or going to hate. And I just remember this. I thought about it earlier.
Let me grab my rocks.
Yeah. Get ready. This is going to be a hot take, okay? But Jid and Yeet. Jid on a Yeet beat. Come on. The energy on one of those beats that he uses, those like electronic beats, that would be insane.
Yeah,
it would be insane. It would be insane.
It may not be necessarily a good project, but like a single, I'd love to see that.
I'll give you a single.
Production. Like whoever's producing Yeet's song, I'll say that. And then just give the song to Jid.
What is it, like Penny X or something? Who is
something like that?
Penny X, I think that's it. Let's see.
Look, Benny X. Going with Yeet,
Benny
it's
X.
Going to be Playboy Cardi.
BNYX is what it is. Yeah.
No, if anyone's with Yeet, I'm gonna say Playboy Cardi, just because both of the fan bases are insane. It would just be to see the crowd.
Yeah.
My last tour, Brandon, I know you didn't want me to say this because it's your least favorite. I would go see Drake. I'm serious.
Oh no, that's fine. I would see Drake. I thought you were gonna say Nav, and I'm like, never gonna happen. You can't sell tickets. Like,
he's literally coming to Chicago in the next 2 months, and I have not actually once. So I'm not gonna bring you to a concert. Yeah. I'm not gonna bring you.
Yeah. No, I'd go see Drake. I would 100% see Drake.
Here's the thing: Drake has not been on tour in America in 5 years. His last tour technically was with Migos in America. He did one with Tory Lanez Gross in the next year.
Was Migos after when he was on with Travis for like a lot of shows? Or was that around the same time? Because he was on like the Astroworld tour for a good bit, and Astroworld was like 2019, like the actual tour.
I was gonna say that lines up with 2018, 2019. Like I said, his last stuff was
Yeah.
2019, and that was mostly in Europe with Tory Lanez, which is again kind of gross.
Yeah.
Questionable.
But I just feel like each one of the artists that's put out enough music that has impacted all of us, whether it's old stuff or new stuff, that will be worth going to see him.
Yeah, no, I would.
And there's guaranteed to be another star there.
Yeah, no, I would 100% G-Dragon. 100%. I also liked Her Loss enough that it was just, I would just do it. You know, I'm struggling to think of other acts though that I really am dying to see, just because like I haven't like settled in. Like the biggest names on my list were Smino and Jid. Like,
right, that we're gonna be able to see.
Yeah, it's like fuck.
What about if Isaiah Rashad goes on?
I would go see Isaiah Rashad
100%. 100%.
I've been listening to Houses Burning because of our.
Oh yeah, because of the false start.
Potential subject.
Yeah, and it's got some.
It's good.
I like a lot of songs. It's grown on me for sure.
Yeah, no,
it's one of my favorite albums from that year.
Yeah, no, it's
undebatable.
Good. It's good.
You know who I would see going on tour right now for the album that he dropped last year is Joji. Not rap, but I would go.
Oh, that's close enough.
I missed the album. I haven't listened to the album.
Oh, buddy, it's good. Smithereens. It's short. It does kind of like it does like the Daytona formula. It's like 26 minutes and like 7 or 8 tracks. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
I guess diving into the next subject. Now, Jasper, you might know a lot more than me.
Yeah.
In terms of merch and fashion, I buy a lot of merch. I'm wearing the Astro World merch now. What do you think? What could be coming out? What do you want to see?
What do I want to see coming out in the way of merch and fashion? Man, it's lower down on the list, but I would love to see Travis make like a more not accessible necessarily, but just like a more open, more diverse line of things with Nike and Jordan Brand. I mean, that's technically not merch, but it's a collab with an artist, so that's something I'm very down for.
Merch we have 5, 6 Jordan 1s and then Air Maxes, Air Max 1s.
No. We've got
7s too, actually.
Oh, 5s and 6s.
And 6s,
That'd be cool. I mean, we've got 6s. We don't have 5s yet. 4s we do.
What's that like 4s. Light blue one? Oh, the 4s.
That's the 4s. That's the 2018 4s. The
Friends
Houston
and
Oilers.
Family. Yeah,
those aren't friends and family. I had a.
Oh, the purple one is a friend and family.
Yes, purple are friends and family, and then the olive pair. Yeah. So yeah, just more diverse stuff with them. I'd like to see more like clothing and things like that coming from, say, Jordan Brand or just Nike with Travis. As far as merch goes, like, it's tough because I feel like you can't really think about what merch is going to look like until you see the aesthetic an album kind of takes on, you know? And sometimes it's just like, are there artists who I would love to have merch from who I don't? Yes. Like, I would love to see Frank do some kind of merch for anything that he's doing, if anything, because that's just like.
You could get a cock ring. I'm just saying. You said you wanted Frank merch, bro. You said you wanted Frank merch, bro.
I was thinking more of a T-shirt, but you know that's.
I'm just saying. You said you wanted Frank merch, bro.
Very true. I guess music
with Frank
merch.
Ocean, you take what you can get. Like,
more music merch than anything, but
can't possibly be a worse buy than the stem player.
I mean, it's what, 10 grand, 14 grand.
I guess
it is covered with diamonds.
It is like a pallet of stem players.
You know what? Gambino merch.
Oh yeah,
if Gambino's coming back, I need something, man. I need something. I would love like a hoodie with like a little pocket design of Sick Boy, like the original Sick Boy logo, or like even just like a printout of the EP album art would be tight. Just like simple stuff. I mean, Travis merch goes crazy every time anything happens ever. So whatever he's gonna do with Utopia, I'm sure will be excellent.
As long as it's successful.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking for I want ASAP Rocky do either a collaboration with Fenty, because Rihanna, or with Golf Wayne, which are Tyler the Creator. I think that would be amazing, considering ASAP Rocky is essentially just a model.
Yeah,
I could see him doing something with LaFleur, actually, specifically over Golf Wayne, because it's like more of like the high fashion kind of vibe he goes for. The prices are definitely there, and it's one of those things where it makes it like a little limited, a little exclusive, and kind of drives demand. So I can see that happening.
I'd like
Um,
Griselda to put out merch that isn't like Balenciaga shit.
Look, I want Griselda to put out a brick.
Yeah.
A Supreme Griselda brick. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Put out a brick and I'll buy it.
I'm just not.
I want Smeeto to put out hair products because I think that just naturally is his direction.
Yeah, that makes sense.
His hair is always a part of his actual fashion and style.
Yeah.
Like pretty much every single modeling gig he has, he does something to like express his black hair, which I'm in the middle of the phase of.
Vibes.
All right.
Um,
Can we head over to the new artist taking off?
yeah, I was about to say I
Yeah.
have a couple of lists here. I'll just kind of go through them.
One of these
Yeet is at the beginning.
One of these I'm kind of shocked I didn't put on my I want the album from this artist.
Is it Dochi?
And Duke Deuce.
Oh, and Duke Deuce. Yes.
My two sides. My
So
two emotions.
But yeah, I mean, is Yeet, Dochi, Duke Deuce, Glorilla is popping off right now. She just dropped a single. Mike Dimes is very slept on in my opinion.
He's gonna.
I love all his music. Redville dropped last year
Redville,
in
I think
September.
Redville's gonna blow up. This is gonna be a big year for Redville, I think.
Like considering it's his first release, he did a phenomenal job in my opinion.
Yeah.
I want Tim's to get the recognition that she deserves.
Yeah, I feel like
there's only one album.
I feel like she needs it from the not necessarily the mainstream, but like the culture. I feel like she's getting it from like people like us and like people like Fantano and shit. Like people who listen to her love her. But yeah, I think she needs more credit than she gets.
Yep, she has an amazing voice in the culture right now. I want her to be more than just a future or a future feature.
Yeah.
And then also Aaron May is really low key. He's been on the come up as well. He's been dropping projects last year, I believe. I want him to be as consistent as possible.
Yeah.
This is the period in your career. It's okay to oversaturate.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my lists of career takeoffs essentially.
Yeah, no, my list is the same as you. If I can do a non-hip hop one, the band Nightlife.
Okay.
I am a big fan of them. I've recommended them on the show. They're a band who blends a lot of pop punk sounds with a lot of R&B and soul. They've put out an EP last year and an EP the year before, both of which were excellent. So I hope they drop an album and get the credit they deserve because they are really innovating in a genre that's always very popular but doesn't innovate all that often. Mm-hmm. MGK is probably the best thing to happen to pop punk in the last few years, and just think about that. Well, besides Turnstile. Turnstile really blew up last year, and they're really, really good. They're not, they are the Mac Miller to MGK's.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
They're a band.
But they're
a band, but that's that's the quality difference. So I think Nightlife. Nightlife is a group I'm super invested in. Really want to see them blow up. And then Dochi. He's the other one who I'm really a big fan of. And Duke Deuce.
But I got you. Jasper, do you have any wishes? Anyone new you've discovered that you want to blow up?
I don't know if I want to say new. They're pretty well known at this point in some niche circles, I guess, but not mainstream definitely. Is Low Roar. They're a Scandinavian band I really like. And last year, late in the year, their lead singer passed away suddenly, unfortunately. I think he was their lead singer and songwriter. And I think it's just one of those things where I really hope that this doesn't just end the project entirely because they've made some really incredible music that's been featured in a lot of pretty prominent media. I'd love to see them kind of, continue to put out work and do it in a way that is true to the original kind of vision without, say selling out, for example. But it's one of those things where if you don't know, go listen to Low Roar. They're different. Like they have a sound that's like kind of familiar, but at the same time, like you'll never hear anything quite like it. It's super interesting to me. And yeah, I just hope that they continue to make music and do so in a way that's well received.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to
Alright.
look into it. I don't know if I've heard of it before.
I've heard of them, but I don't think I've heard them.
Okay.
Yeah, their like last 3 albums, no misses in my opinion. But it's a style that I really like. It's a lot of it's very slow, kind of quiet. A
Mhm.
lot of it does have ambient sections, although it is music with it's got beat, it's got lyrics, it's got drums and everything else. It's very different and very far removed from a hip hop podcast or a rap podcast. So
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that
Yeah.
happens to us. Oh,
Yeah,
for
we-
tours, another tour I'm gonna go to if I level up in the next few months. I'm going to the Kavinsky tour. No way. I'm
oh,
not.
facts, dude. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, so I might even do
I will
that.
need
for
your
that.
acting. Bet.
All
Okay.
right. All right.
Should we
Oh,
wrap
I have
it up?
one wish. I have one more wish.
Yeah.
A Kavinsky cover of what is it? Blinded by the Light or Blinding Lights.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be
That
great.
would hit.
I would love a Kavinsky.
Like a night.
I would love a Kavinsky weekend reunion. I
Fire.
showed Purvis the song they did together one night when we were drinking at my place,
Yeah.
and he just looked up at me. He's like, "This is who you were talking about?" Like,
Dude.
It all makes sense now.
yeah,
Just Drive 2011. Watch the movie.
so good.
Listen to the soundtrack. It's a vibe,
It's
and
a
you will
really good-
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good movie. I forgot about that.
Oh,
Giving you a night call.
yeah. I love Nightfall.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably listen to it as soon as we're over. Guys, we're at 2 hours.
All right, let's wrap it up.
This was a long one. This was one.
And this was supposed to be like, oh yeah, let's just
This was a
get something light.
zero prep. Like, do something light. Well, it was
I
light
did
work.
this last night.
It was light work.
Yeah, we didn't have to prep really.
Yeah. All right.
But should we do recommendations then?
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
Me. I have mine pulled up.
Go pull up. Go, Purvis.
Okay, my first one is going to be the song "You" by Lloyd, featuring Lil Wayne. This is an absolute classic.
That's a classic. That's a classic. Song.
Undebatable. It's
Undebatable. 100%. I'm with you.
this song can go down in history at a museum, honestly.
Yeah, put it right next to the
Um,
Mona Lisa, if you ask me.
Like literally. This is a staple in time. Great R&B song. Lil Wayne is fantastic. It is peak around this time.
Peak 2007.
Love to see it. Heard it, has to listen to it, has to throw it in a recommendation. That's my first one.
All right.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Go for it.
I'm going to recommend the song Lucky Ass Bitch by Mac Miller. It was
Okay.
like, it popped up on my playlist, and I was like, man, I forget that he had like this like hardcore like phase where he was just like all out there. Because like his image softened over the years. And I think as he matured and made better music, like I'm not bemoaning this at all. But it was like, wow, this was like I cannot believe I used to listen to this kind of music where it was like just very profane. It was like, but it's an incredible song.
As you can tell by the title, yes, it's
Yeah.
very out there. All right, bet. Jasper,
Yeah.
what's your first one?
Sure. So my first one is Bruce Wayne by Bobby Machiavelli, who is honestly, I think,
I know that name.
exactly. You know the name, but you can't
Why
name
do I
any
know
word.
the name?
One of the most, I think, overlooked artists of the late 2010s in terms of flow, style, beats, production. And it's a single. I love this track. This has been on my likes or like my current rap playlist for 5, 6, 7 years since it came out. It came out in 2017, and just short, sweet, super good track in my opinion. I love it.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
But
All right.
I'm gonna have to circle back to that. I know that name. I just don't know why.
And I'll say, I think Bobby Machiavelli did the whole brown Batman thing before Travis did.
Yeah.
Also. Although maybe it
meme
was like
photo.
right around, maybe it was right around the same time, because the album artwork for this song is like Batman in silhouette, and it's the album cover is like it's brown and white. So I could see that being like around the same time.
But all right. My last one, another one, absolute classic. I said this week I'm coming with nothing but hitters. Throw Some D's by Rich Boy.
Amazing.
Like,
Oh my god.
as soon as it comes on, you already know what's going on.
You got me.
Absolute classic, turn up song, a staple in history.
Yeah.
Like it puts you in a time capsule back then.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I'll go. My next one, I want to shout out like a really underground, like a really like local artist. He's a friend of a friend. I'm recommending The Sludge by Devin. I sent it to Purvis earlier this week.
Song's good.
Yeah.
Song's good.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
So I walk into my house maybe yesterday, day before. And I just hear arguing from the office about Kid Cudi. And I'm like, I can't walk past that. Like, so I walk in and it's my roommate and a friend of his yelling about Kid Cudi. And we go in there, we shoot the shit. And he's like, oh, my roommate's a producer. He produces music. And he's like, I produced this song for him. There's a video. There's the whole thing. It's on Spotify. I'm like, bet. And I was like, all right. Like, I was waiting for something. I was waiting for something to cook or something. And I listened to it. And I'm like, wow, this is really, really good. Like, I've listened to a lot of, like, friends of a friend's artists, like, people. This one popped. I really, really enjoyed this one.
What? The music video specifically.
The music video.
You need
also,
to see the music video.
The music video hits too. And the other thing is that like this kid, he goes to the same college I went to, and he lives in the same area I did in college. So like, it's a little nostalgic for me because like it's a lot of the places where I spent a lot of late nights, a lot of like my time there, you know. So it's a full force recommendation. Check this kid out. He only has like 50 listeners. Like. 100% do something. Listen to someone new.
Yeah. And then speaking of listening to someone new, someone who everybody probably knows about but hasn't listened to or hasn't listened to a whole lot of, my last recommendation is going to be State of the Art by Gautier.
Oh, the guy.
Gautier came through, was super popular, and now he's just somebody that we used to know.
I was literally about to say, isn't this just like the YouTube video of that one song?
Same guy,
he just
but
disappeared.
So yeah, that was an album. That was on an album that he dropped. It was like the one kind of album that got recognition. That song went super viral, super popular. State of the Art, in my opinion, is as good, if not better. And I will say, watch the video with it. Completely different vibe. It's got kind of like a, I don't even know how to describe it. It's got like kind of a jazzy, like the song is really interesting. It's about a family that buys an organ for the home, and it's like supposed to be like in the 50s when this is like a new technology, and how it's like, oh, we have all these amazing electronic sounds now instead of, you know, traditional instruments. But then the organ becomes like better and better as time goes on. Watch the video. You'll see what I'm talking about. But it's a great track. The beat is infectious, and the vocals are all like pitched down, so it's like super deep and sounds really interesting.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Completely, I'm telling you, completely different from somebody that I used to know, like night and day, flip of a coin.
He's versatile. Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting.
But
all right, boys. Are we wrapping it up this week? We made it. We're on the other side of a podcast. Editing for this is going to be real easy. Like.
Literally no cuts.
Yeah, literally no cuts. Yeah, flawless victory. Like anything at this point, if we mess up, I'm just
don't say something that
I'm going to. I don't know.
We are ending the podcast.
Yeah, right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.